Hey, Mace.
Welcome to Ross-Ade Stadium in West Lafayette, Indiana, where today the Purdue Boilermakers take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers as the Boilermakers, led by first-year head coach Darrell Hazel, take the field and get ready to take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. The All-American band leading the team out in the tunnel as Purdue, coming off a bye week, trying to get back on track after a 1-4 start to the season, back home to take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers in the first meeting between these two teams since Nebraska joined the Big Ten. And there are the Huskers on the road for the first time this year, the latest trip on the road for any Nebraska team since the 2005 season. And a large contingent of Husker fans have made their way to West Lafayette to cheer on the Big Red. Nebraska taking the field, Purdue already out there, and we are moments away from kickoff here in West Lafayette, Indiana, on a perfect day for college football in mid-October. You can't dial up a better one than what we have here in Purdue. It is a beautiful afternoon and a lot of red in the stands cheering on the Scarlet and Cream from Lincoln, Nebraska. There was a lot of discussion in Nebraska this week, traveling to see Bo Pelini's squad as they hit the road for the first time this year. Coach Pelini's team coming off a win last week over Illinois. Purdue off of a bye week, making a lot of changes today on both offense and defense that we'll tell you about as we move along through the afternoon here in West Lafayette. Purdue band entertaining the crowd right now here in the pregame show as we get set for the national anthem. The flag being unfurled. And we are almost ready for the All-American Marching Band at Purdue University to bring you the national anthem here in West Lafayette, Indiana. BTN Football is presented by the United States Marine Corps. And today from Ross-Ade Stadium in West Lafayette, Indiana, the 24th-ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers take on the Purdue Boilermakers. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Chuck Long, I'm Kevin Kugler, and welcome to West Lafayette on a beautiful day for football. We talked about the changes between both of these teams and a lot of youth at quarterback. Some of the changes for Nebraska, not really a change. Taylor Martinez out again today. Chuck, that means Tommy Armstrong Jr. gets his third straight start.
And Kevin, Tommy's filled in nicely as a starting quarterback for Nebraska, completing over 70% of his passes. Out of 15 total drives he's been in, 0 punts. So he's moving the ball, and look for a lot of option game with Tommy today.
Now Tommy Armstrong Jr. getting his third start, but all the buzz in West Lafayette has been about freshman Danny Etling, the true freshman who gets his first career start today. Boy, are they excited about this young man.
What a bright future for Danny Etling. He came off the bench and really sparked the Purdue offense. They went from about 300 yards of total offense a game to over 500 in one game. Possesses a live arm. Look for Danny Etling and the Purdue offense to really spread the field today because of his strong arm.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the Principal Financial Group edge to the game.
for Nebraska's defensive pressure. And talking to Bo Pelini, their head coach, they wanted to improve in that area. They're not getting enough pressure. That's going to be key today, especially against a young quarterback in Etling. For Purdue, spread it out on Nebraska's defense. Try to create some space and let Danny Etling really see the coverage. And the best way to do that is spread it out to throw the football.
Now, this is going to be a wonderful day for football today because this is Chamber of Commerce weather. 70 degrees at kick. In mid-October, partly cloudy skies and a south wind at 8 miles per hour. The third member of our crew is out on the field, Jay Lehman. And Jay, Danny Etling's not the only change for Purdue today, is he?
No, he's not, Kevin. I got a chance to talk to Purdue defensive coordinator Greg Hudson, and Greg told me during the bye week he didn't just tweak the defense, he revamped the defense, going from a 4-3 set with 4 defensive linemen to a 3-4 set with 3 defensive linemen. Why? He said it gave his playmakers a better chance to make plays in the field, specifically defensive ends Ryan Russell and Jelani Phillips. Look for them to make plays for the Boilermaker defense against this high-octane Nebraska offense.
Well, you look at the coaches for these two squads. Bo Pelini on your left. Darrell Hazel, the head coach of Purdue in his first season on the right side of the screen. And these two coaches getting ready to go in this Big Ten showdown. First time these two teams have met since the Huskers joined the Big Ten. Let's talk about impact players when Nebraska's on offense first.
Well, on offense, it's a mirror duel. That's where it all starts. He had 225 yards alone last week against Illinois, emerging as one of the premier players in this conference. And of course, you have Kenny Bell, their big play wide receiver. Had an outstanding catch last week. Look for him to have big plays today. And then on defense, Ryan Russell, they're going to move him around to try to create some havoc on that Nebraska offense. For Purdue, Danny Etling, mentioned him. Strong arm, live arm. They're going to spread the field with him. Akeem Hunt, look for him to be their all-purpose guy, not only with the rush game, but coming out of the backfield and pass receiving. On defense for Nebraska is Randy Gregory, one of their impact players they feel very strong about. They're going to bring him on blitzes and be ready for him to rush the passer against Danny Etling, try to create some havoc.
Purdue wins the toss. They elect to receive as Mauro Bondi kicks off. You saw the touchback numbers. Add another to the list as Bondi bangs it through the end zone. Purdue's got some very talented returners. Bondi, a big weapon today for Nebraska as Akeem Hunt and Raheem Mostert didn't get the shot to return. There's Danny Etling making his first career start. This is what he did 2 weeks ago against Northern Illinois, coming off the bench, some ups and some downs, but a lot of enthusiasm and eagerness from this Purdue fan base for the future of Danny Etling. And you know he's excited as the freshman from Terre Haute makes his first career start. And they spread it out, going 5 wide receivers to start.
5 already here, Kevin. They mentioned that last night. Play 1.
And Etling facing a 4-man rush. Etling in some trouble, and he's dropped. Caught along the arm by Aaron Curry, and Curry gets his second sack of the year.
There's the pressure we're talking about there, Kevin, that Nebraska wanted to put on that young quarterback. Danny does a smart thing of just getting into the ground. Don't turn the ball over.
So, 2nd and 15 from the 20-yard line. Akeem Hunt with the carry. And Hunt picks up a couple to the 22-yard line. The Purdue starters on offense are scrolling at the top of your screen, led by Akeem Hunt, who leads the team in rushing yards and receiving this year.
And I think Hunt and D'Angelo Yancey will play a big factor in this game today.
3rd down and 12 at the 23-yard line. 5 wide look again for Danny Etling. Huskers bring pressure. Etling in trouble. Able to get away from Green. Etling throwing on the run, and the pass is incomplete.
Just a young quarterback needs to throw that ball away. Don't give it to the other team. That was a very, very dangerous pass. When you're outside the pocket, be careful about throwing that ball too short. Just throw it out of bounds. He'll learn from that mistake. Yeah, that was a dangerous throw. But you saw Nebraska bringing the pressure already. First 3 plays, they're bringing it.
Nebraska's defensive coordinator John Papuchis told us they wanted to improve first down efficiency. He has to be thrilled with the way that first series went defensively for his troops.
Yeah, great start defensively for Nebraska.
Jordan Westerkamp calling for the fair catch and fighting that one a little bit. Able to grab it at the 34-yard line, and now Nebraska will head out on offense with Tommy Armstrong, the freshman quarterback, making his third start. Taylor Martinez saw him earlier today. He's still wearing the walking boot for turf toe, an injury that's plagued him for most of the season. He's missed the last 3 games, and Tommy Armstrong has been very, very good in his stead. He's been helped by a terrific performance from the guy who lines up behind him right now, Amir Abdullah. 225 yards, a career high last week. On first down at the 34-yard line. Abdullah with a hole. Look at Abdullah dragging tacklers all the way to the 46-yard line. Bruce Gaston finally able to bring him down along with Ricardo Allen as the Nebraska offensive starters will scroll at the top of your screen, led by Amir Abdullah, second leading rusher in the Big Ten this year.
Nebraska going fast here.
Armstrong will throw on first down. The catch is made by Sam Cotton, but not able to turn it upfield. Antoine Lewis there to make the tackle, and a minimal gain for the Big Red.
Let's see how the pace goes for Nebraska's offense. So far, they're going no huddle. They're going pretty quick. There's different speeds that the offense will go with. Very fast, semi-fast, and then slow.
See, the rushing attack is what drives this Nebraska offense this year. On 2nd and 8, Armstrong on the keep. And Armstrong to the Purdue 49-yard line. Good open field tackle. Anthony Brown in there to make the stop. And the Auto Owners Insurance starting defense led by Bruce Gaston, who's moved to the outside this week, lining up at defensive end in this new odd man front.
They switched everything around in their bye week. We'll see how it all plays out, because Bruce Gaston is in a new position at the defensive end spot.
3rd down and 5. Comes that 3-man pressure. Armstrong to Abdullah, and a very good tackle made out in the open field by the freshman Leroy Clark, because if Clark's not able to drag Abdullah down, he's got a long open field ahead of him.
The one thing when I watched Purdue's defense on tape, I thought they tackled well. Now they were out of position some, and they were getting big yards on them, but when they were around the ball, they tackled pretty well. You saw it right there, Kevin.
Imani Cross in now at running back for Nebraska. And the keep by Tommy Armstrong gets a yard to the 41. Ryan Russell with the tackle. And Russell's the guy, as there's an injured Husker down, Russell's the guy who's doing that stand-up hybrid role. And the injured Husker is not anyone they want to see down. One of the captains on this team, one of the best offensive linemen in the country, Spencer Long. The senior from Elkhorn, Nebraska, was a second-team All-American last year. First-team All-Conference, as they tend to him, will step aside in West Lafayette.
Football on BTN is presented by the United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines. And brought to you by Case IH. Be ready with the proven leader. Visit caseih.com/efficient power. And by USAA, proudly serving the financial needs of current and former military members and their families.
Huskers arriving yesterday in West Lafayette, landing at the airport just down the road from here at Ross-Ade Stadium. Bo Pelini leading his team into the stadium, and Spencer Long helped off the field by the training staff and did not put a lot of pressure on his left leg, Chuck.
Yeah, you see it right here on your left, right there on the knee. Just got caved in, but he's wearing a knee brace. I'm big on knee braces, so that'll save you.
Imani Cross into the secondary, and Cross all the way down to the 20-yard line of Purdue. Will Lucas able to take him down. Mike Mowdy, who came in for Spencer Long on that right side, filling in for Spencer Long very nicely on that run.
This Nebraska offense is just so hard to defend. They show so many different things at you, with option game, with pistol formation, with spread out. Just hard to get a beat on them. It takes a while.
1st and 10.
Here comes a blitz.
Defensive coordinator Greg Hudson told us yesterday Purdue's going to come a lot. They're going to blitz a lot today. right at this young quarterback. Armstrong to Westerkamp. And Westerkamp fumbles it out of bounds. But Nebraska will retain the possession. Anthony Brown with the tackle out there of the freshman from Lombard, Illinois.
Brown with a nice tackle. The key to stopping an offense like this to spread you out with the passing game is you got to be good in open field tackling. And so far, Purdue's done that.
Second down and 1 at the 11. First drive of the day for Nebraska.
Showing blitz again here.
Huskers have been solid in the red zone, 18 touchdowns in 26 trips in. Armstrong to throw. And the wires got crossed over there. Bell and Anunua. Between the two is where Armstrong went.
Yeah, that was a receiver busted route there. They were confused on that. They're lucky they didn't have a bad play there.
This is last week, Chuck.
Yep. Here's 2nd and 13. That's what I like about Tommy. 2nd 13. He overthrows a ball here in the red zone. Didn't take a sack. He's upset. Comes right back on 3rd 13 and throws a catchable ball for the receiver to make a first down. Love that.
On 3rd and 1, Amir Abdullah pounding it inside the 10 for the first. Sean Robinson on the stop. And you look at Amir Abdullah, Chuck, 5'9", 190 pounds, and you think this little guy is not going to be able to run between the tackles, but he's extremely strong.
He's strong. He's really well built. And he's in great shape. It seems like as the game goes, he gets stronger. And that's a good sign of a running back. As they get stronger during the game, get harder to tackle.
First and goal at the 9.
They're calling some plays from the bench right now.
Abdullah with the carry. And Amir Abdullah down to the Purdue 4-yard line. Sean Robinson again with the tackle. Moving into that middle linebacker spot this week. The former quarterback at Purdue, Sean Robinson, already with a couple of stops.
They've had a couple of quarterbacks move over to defense in their time here at Purdue.
Including the man who started the quarterback position this year, Rob Henry. Second and goal at the 3-yard line.
Offensive coordinator Tim Beck in Nebraska showing a lot of good mix here in the opening drive.
On the option, Armstrong, touchdown Nebraska.
Purdue showed the blitz here, Kevin, and they burned them with the option. The one thing with the blitz, it's hard to defend the option game. So that was just a guessing game for Greg Hudson, the defensive coordinator for Purdue, to throw the blitz on them. Nebraska had the right call. And option is a tough thing to defend when you're a blitzing team.
Pat Smith on for the extra point. And the kick by Smith is good. 9:38 remaining in the first quarter. Nebraska, with their first possession of the ball game, takes it in on old school option football from the quarterback, Tommy Armstrong. Plenty to cheer about early for Nebraska. A Chevrolet scoring drive that saw Tommy Armstrong Jr. take his team 66 yards in 11 plays, just over 4 minutes off the clock on that scoring drive. And an impressive start again for the redshirt freshman quarterback Tommy Armstrong Jr.
Yeah, very efficient drive to start the game. Offensive coordinator Tim Beck had a really nice mix of plays between run and pass and formations within those plays. It's just hard to line up on Nebraska and get all your gaps secured defensively.
Arnold Bondi with another deep kickoff that'll go through the end zone for another touchback. BTN goes where you want, when you want it with BTN to go, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Watch every football game on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. BTN to go is now available to all major subscribers who receive BTN through their cable, satellite, or participating video providers. To learn more, visit btntogo.com. Also available in the App Store and on Google Play. Nebraska's defense has struggled a bit at times this year. That's being kind. The numbers on first down on average this year allowed.
So far, so good in this game.
On first down. A little bit of a hole to run through for Dalen Dawkins, one of the many freshmen that dot this Purdue roster. And he gets good yardage on first down as the Auto Owners Insurance starting defense for the Huskers scrolls the top of your screen, led by Jason Ankra, Thad Randall, and the rest of that Nebraska defensive line. Randy Gregory, a former Purdue commit, a key guy along that line.
I take it back, Kevin. That was a good run on first down. They've been good up to that point. Spread it out again.
On second down, four-man pressure from Nebraska. Ettling's pass overshoots the intended receiver on the far sideline, D'Angelo Yancey. Josh Mitchell on the coverage for the Huskers.
Danny Etling needs to settle down a little bit. It's a lot different when you go into a game as a starting quarterback and you know it from Monday on. You know, it starts to work on you a little bit from a mental standpoint, from a pressure standpoint. There's the pressure in Nebraska getting after the young quarterback.
Third down and 2 for Purdue. Mostert hit by Ankra, but he fell forward. It's going to be very close to the first down.
Don't think he got it.
Looks like he's about a half-yard shy.
If I'm Purdue, I'd go for it. You know, when you're a young head coach like Darrell Hazel, or a brand new head coach, that's great extra effort right here. You want to show your team, hey, we have confidence in you. We're going to grow with you. I want you to have confidence in me as a head coach. That's always a good thing to do in your first year as a head coach in a program.
Fourth and short. They're 50% on fourth down. Etling may just be trying to draw them off sides, and now the flag is thrown for delay of game.
Purdue.
But they got the timeout first. So the timeout
30-second timeout
before the flag was thrown, and they were just trying to get somebody to move up front.
Yes, and that play rarely works anymore. Defensive teams are so well coached on that, and rarely works.
Now you're over there in the huddle as a quarterback, which of course you were. You're talking with your head coach Darrell Hazel, your offensive coordinator John Shoop. Are you still arguing to go for it here?
Sure, definitely go for it. Well,
they're not listening to the argument.
I guess not.
Cody Webster comes out to punt. Jordan Westerkamp back for Nebraska.
I think you should go for it just because it gets your fans excited. It shows your team, hey, we can do this. But I'm not on the field coaching.
A short punt, and it goes out of bounds. Not a good one from Cody Webster, who came in 10th in the nation in punt average this year, and he'll mark it at midfield. A rough punt for Cody Webster. Great field position for Nebraska with a 7-0 lead. Now some great aerial shots from our friends at Lafayette Aviation. They took us up with a student pilot. University able to help us out, get some great aerial shots of the West Lafayette area, the Purdue campus. Really cool. Chuck Long was up there actually dangling off the bottom of that plane to get those shots for BTN football this afternoon, with Nebraska locking horns with Purdue. Second possession for the Huskers. See a lot of red in those stands here at Ross-Ade Stadium.
Look for a shot soon.
From midfield, Amir Abdullah nowhere to go. Great defensive play by Purdue. And Jay Lehman, you were listening in to what Greg Hudson, the defensive coordinator, had to tell his Boilermaker D.
Yeah, he told his defense, listen, don't stand there and wait for him. Get downhill and take a shot. If they're running the ball, if they're throwing the ball in space, attack them. We'll rally if you miss the tackle by our hustle.
Well, they certainly took his advice on that play. No gain for Amir Abdullah. 3 receivers for Nebraska on second down. Armstrong looking deep, and nobody is there. Quincy Enunwa was the intended receiver, but his route cut well short. Now third down.
I think there's miscommunication again as they're looking at each other. It's one of those, all right, I was supposed to run the hitch route, and Tommy thought he was running the fade route. And it happens. Just got to get on the same page, talk about it, get the signal straight.
Tommy Armstrong in the last 2.5 games, 7 for 7 on third down. 3rd and 10 here.
Here comes the blitz to the field. for Purdue.
Here they come. It's picked up. Armstrong with time over the middle for Turner, off his fingertips at the 20. And the pass is incomplete. And Jamal Turner just short of that one. And for the first time, Tommy Armstrong Jr. will leave the field as a starting quarterback as the punter comes on.
He probably can't believe it, but that was a great throw. Turner needs to come up with that. Right in stride with the throw. Read it perfect. The middle of the field was wide open. Purdue didn't, their safeties were displaced there. Too short in the field, but great throw.
Williams back deep. Purdue's defense, great response by the Boilermakers. Fair catch is called for and made by Williams. A little late signal as he looked up and realized there was a lot of red and white around him. And so Purdue will start inside their own 20-yard line. Kenny Bell, that gunner, down the field for Nebraska, and Purdue starts at the 16.
Here it is right in the pocket. Just a nice throw. Good loft on the football. Had him right in stride. It's a touchdown throw right there. Turner's got to come up with that. He knew it.
Jamal's been slowed by a hamstring problem of late. There was some question as to whether he'd play today.
Well, with a hamstring like that, it's hard to push to the ball. It's hard to accelerate to the ball.
From the 16, first down and 10. Etling, quick toss, deflected and intercepted. Picked off by Leroy Alexander. Alexander with a flag down, knocked out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. The freshman Leroy Alexander comes up with his first interception. Nebraska going to move back after some laundry on the field. Dave Whitvote is our referee today.
Etling made the right read there, Kevin, as we wait for the call.
During the return, illegal block in the back. The returning team, number 6. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Danny Etling made the right read, Kevin. He just overthrew it. Just locked that left knee, overthrew it a little bit. Now you have to rally to make the tackle. Just got to get him down somehow.
Here's a look at the penalty right there for Corey Cooper that moves Nebraska back. But the Huskers with the 7-0 lead after the first interception from Leroy Alexander. Now Quincy Enunwa on the offense back out on the field.
Showing a full house backfield or a diamond backfield. New formation.
Haven't seen the diamond much this year. Nebraska ran it some last year as Armstrong will throw from it. Looking over to the sideline, and it's intercepted in the end zone by Frankie Williams. The Huskers turn it right back over as Tommy Armstrong Jr. throws his first interception, and Williams with his second of the year.
Nebraska's just trying to run a post route with their wide receiver and a wheel route out of the backfield with their running back. And he just didn't see that safety. Thought he had a clean shot. Yeah, here it is right here. Just didn't see him. Didn't see Frankie Williams, their corner, who did a nice job of releasing the post route, letting that one go, and then filtering back for the wheel route. Good job by Frankie Williams.
From the 20-yard line. And some movement.
Ball start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty. The down remains first.
Jordan Roos, the right guard, and another freshman. You could say another freshman for a lot of things on this Purdue squad on both offense and defense. They are extremely young.
Yeah, lots of youth, and you have to, when you haven't been in there as an offensive lineman, you got to get used to that cadence, especially with a new quarterback.
Not much running room for Dalen Dawkins. Speaking of freshmen, Nathan Gary, true freshman from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, makes the stop for Nebraska.
I think we're going to be saying freshman a lot today, Kevin.
Well, when Nebraska's defense is playing against Purdue's offense, it's a lot of freshmen and redshirt freshmen on both sides. Of course, starting with Danny Etling, the true freshman, making his first start at quarterback today. 2nd and 14. And the catch at the 20-yard line by Shane Mikeski. And Mikeski down at the 21. He picks up 5. Leroy Alexander, who had the interception, makes the stop.
That's a smart play call by offensive coordinator John Shoup of Purdue. Just getting an easy route, little flat route to the outside. Just get a reception for Danny Etling just to settle him down. Sometimes you have to call those plays. They're not very far, but you just got to settle them down a little bit.
3rd down. Etling in the empty backfield. 5 wide receivers for Purdue. Huskers bring some pressure. Etling's in trouble. Randall got there first, and then the rest of the defense followed up with the sack. Avery Moss got a piece of it as well, and Randy Gregory.
Nebraska's defense showing a lot of different looks in the back end. It's confusing Danny Etling right now. Right now he's looking at one guy, maybe getting to number 2. But it's hard to get to the 3rd option when you're a young quarterback. That's where you grow as a quarterback, when you're able to get to the 2nd and 3rd receiver. Right now he's just looking at number 1. And Nebraska's bring a lot of pressure, so he doesn't really have time to get to the 2 or 3 anyway.
14th sack for Nebraska on the season. Westerkamp coming up, and a dangerous catch made near midfield as we check in with Dave Revson for an update on Indiana, Michigan State.
Okay, Kevin, the Spartans, the nation's best run D. They hadn't given up a run longer than 24 yards coming in, but so much for that. Tevin Coleman goes 64. Hoosiers up 7-0 early.
Wow, very impressive, Dave. Tevin Coleman against that Michigan State D, 64 yards. Impressive run for Coleman, and a new quarterback in for Nebraska. Ron Kellogg III getting his first look at playing time today. They've done this in every start.
Offensive coordinator Tim Beck has great confidence in Ron.
There's Imani Cross, and down to the 49 of Purdue, and Jay Lehman down on the field. Jay, you've been keeping an eye on the offensive side of the ball for Nebraska.
Yeah, I got a chance to hear what the Cornhusker coaches said to the offense. They said, listen, we think their edges are susceptible in this 3-4 defensive front. Look for them to get the edge by pulling some linemen outside to get the edge.
Keep an eye on that, Jay. Thank you very much. 2nd and 8 at the Boilermaker 49-yard line. Newby, and a good tackle made by Anthony Brown. And Jay talked earlier, Chuck, about Purdue attacking defensively, and since that time, we've really seen more aggression.
They brought Brown on a blitz, and it was great timing on the blitz because they did not have a blocker for him. Ran right into the play. Perfect call by Greg Hudson, the defensive coordinator. Nebraska was not able to check out of that play. Good height of the blitz.
4 receivers on 3rd and 8. Ethan Carter and Quincy Enunwa to the top of your screen, with Kenny Bell and Alonzo Moore to the bottom.
Just 3-man pressure here, dropping 8.
Kellogg with time over the middle. Ethan Carter takes a big hit, but he hangs on. The tackle from Sean Robinson, but the true freshman Ethan Carter able to snare it for the first.
See, Carter's hurting a little bit on that. A rib shot. Took a rib shot, but that's a heck of a throw and catch with concentration of squeezing that football, taking the hit by Carter.
Carter being checked out over on the sidelines.
Those over the middle hits, Kevin, they're rough.
Kellogg back into the gun on 1st down. With time again. Throwing into some traffic, and a huge collision between 2 Huskers in Enunwa and Birch. And Birch is still down.
Just not a good decision by Kellogg. Not a good decision. Don't throw the ball inside like that. Just throw the ball away if you're getting the pressure, or run it.
Sam Birch, the sophomore, being tended to, will step aside. Nebraska and Purdue battling early as the Huskers face a 3rd and 14 at the Boilermaker 41-yard line. Ron Kellogg III with 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen, and Alonzo Moore the single wide to the top. Kellogg with time. Over the middle for Westerkamp, who makes the grab and gets the first down.
That was a great throw into traffic. Purdue dropped 8 into coverage, and Kellogg stuck it in there for a big first down. Goes over a bent knee, throws a rocket in there. Nice anticipation. The linebackers of Purdue have to get deeper in their drops. They're not getting deep enough.
From the 17 on first down. Bell and Enunwa are the wide receivers. Abdullah with a block. And another good job of getting to the football by the senior Will Lucas, who made his 25th career start today, Chuck, and really flowed strong to Amir Abdullah.
As Jay said, they're trying to attack the edges there, but Purdue is rallying well and keeping that edge secure.
That carry puts Amir Abdullah over 2,000 yards in his career, the 12th player to reach 2,000 before the end of his junior year, and he's got a big chunk of his junior year still to play. 2nd and 5 from the 12. Good balance by Amani Cross, powering his way down inside the 5-yard line, where it'll be 1st and goal, Nebraska.
That was another blitz by Purdue, and they got burned. Right now, Purdue's tendency is to blitz in the red zone more than they're doing in the open field. That may change because they've been burned twice, one for a touchdown and then one by Cross on that run.
Anthony Brown is the injured Boilermaker. We've called his name a lot today. Been very active, and that secondary a little thin for Purdue. That's not a place they want to see an injury.
No, it's not. They've played very well, too.
So Brown being taken care of, the sophomore out of Tampa, Florida. He's a great speed guy, ran a 10.5 800 in high school, and a guy who's just been steadily improving in his time at Purdue.
Had 23 tackles coming into the game and 2 tackles for loss.
Anthony Brown being looked at. Nebraska's had a couple of injuries to deal with today, most notably Spencer Long. Trying to see what we can see here. And at the bottom of that pile, hard to tell.
It's hard to tell.
Looks like he's okay as he walks to the sideline, and that's good news for Purdue. And speaking of injuries, there's injured senior quarterback Taylor Martinez, 528 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 1 interception before the turf toe.
Look at the year he's had. 9 touchdowns, only 1 interception for the year. They're gonna need Taylor before the year's out.
This was Taylor this morning. The team warming up on the field, and Taylor kind of in the stands showing off the walking boot. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line, and Imani Cross not able to find any running room at all. It'll be 2nd down.
There's your tight goal line type set.
And what is Nebraska missing without Taylor Martinez? They're missed one of the key contributors offensively in college football from a rushing standpoint in conference history. Denard Robinson, Antoine Randall, and there's Taylor Martinez. 3rd all-time in career quarterback rush yards.
I would say he's in good company.
Cross again. And Cross down inside the 2, but not again much running room. Purdue doing a very nice job clogging up those running lanes.
This is a win for Purdue. Drive's not over yet, but they stopped him twice in a row. A big offensive line in Nebraska. Those are small wins that you can hang your hat on as a new program with a new head coach.
And Bruce Gaston is down. One of the 3 team captains this year for the Boilermakers. Speaking of guys that you don't want to see injured, Gaston is certainly one of those guys. 38th start in his Purdue career today. Moving to the outside in this new odd man front that Purdue has shifted to with the benefit of the bye week.
He's had 21 tackles coming into the game for a defensive tackle. Very active player. As you said, Kevin, moved to the outside defensive end. There's a number of guys moving around on this football team, which tells me that they're buying into Darrell Hazel's program. They're willing to give themselves up for the team or give them position up for the team to make it better. That's always a good sign.
Well, Jay, what do they do up front with Gaston out?
It looks like they're going to bring in the freshman Evan Panfield. They told us they were going to take the red shirt off three defensive linemen. It looks like Panfield's the first one to get that red shirt burned. Let's see how he plays on the goal line against the Huskers.
Tough assignment. Youngster, you're into the game, and it's 3rd down and goal from inside the 2.
Nebraska going to a spread now here, Kevin. They tried the tight sets, the jumbo sets, didn't work. They're going back to their game.
11th play of the Nebraska drive, 3rd down. Abdullah trying to get in. He's not going to do it. Nebraska 3 tries from inside the 3, and they're stopped each time short of the goal line, and now a decision for Bo Pelini.
I believe he's going to go for it just because their defense is playing well right now. So he's going to go for it.
And Amir Abdullah a little bit slow to get going, and now Zimani Cross ran onto the field. Abdullah sends him back. Abdullah trying to shake this one off. It's 4th and goal. The play clock winding down.
Yeah,
before halftime, or before the end of the first quarter. And they're going to take a timeout.
Abdullah's shaky. Smart timeout. There's some hard hitting going on down there, Kevin. Both teams are hitting. Purdue's getting after it. That's a nice goal line stand so far against a vaunted, prolific offense.
Watch Amir here. Ran into the back of Andrew Rodriguez.
I can't tell if he hit the ground. It's like right there.
He got nudged coming across by Jelani Phillips. So now 4th and goal for Nebraska, and they will not have Amir Abdullah out there, it looks like.
Again, Bo Pelini feels like, hey, my defense is playing well right now. They're having trouble moving the ball on us. Even if we don't make it, we feel like we can get a stop. We got to pin down there anyway.
On 4th and goal, Cross with the carry, and Cross able to barrel into the end zone for the touchdown.
Just a dive play, simple dive. Everybody has it in their offense. They did it from the shotgun instead of underneath the center. And Cross is a big back, 225 pounds. Hard to stop him.
Clock hit zeros at the end of that run, so the extra point will be the official end of our first quarter. Smith, who's missed a couple this year, hits this one. And Nebraska has a 14-0 lead after 1 in West Lafayette. Herbie's happy. Nebraska with a 2-touchdown lead at Purdue. Their first road trip going well so far. (14-0). Nebraska leading Purdue as BTN football presented by the United States Marine Corps gets ready to kick off the second quarter with a kickoff. After the touchdown, Mauro Bondi will kick off. He was very, very strong with a pair of touchbacks, 3 touchbacks actually in that first stanza. Now Bondi will kick off going the other way.
Nebraska's been so explosive in the first quarter this year. Not the start that Purdue wanted.
Team Hunt, 4 yards deep. He's going to bring it out. Had a 99-yard return earlier this year, but he's upended at the 15-yard line. Solid kick coverage for Nebraska as Starkebom makes the tackle as Etling comes back out. Let's look back at some of the notable first starts at Purdue, Chuck, for these cradle of quarterback stars, and there's been a lot of them.
I would say it's a pretty good group.
And that's just a few. Mark Herman actually had the most yardage from any of those in the cradle of quarterbacks, and several others that we did not mention because we don't have time to do the 12 or 13 pages of graphic that we'd need to show you all the guys who've come through Purdue. They hope one day Etling will be amongst those. good tackle by Gary as Akeem Hunt tried to get to the outside. He'll lose a yard back to the 14.
Nebraska's defense is playing really fast right now, and that bye week, well, I'm talking to Coach Bo Pelini. He said that they got better in that Illinois game, and the bye week really helped them before that game, and it's showing again today.
Etling, a rough start so far, 1 for 4, 6 yards, and the interception off the deflection. The screen set up, and a very good play by Cameron Posey up the sidelines, and Posey caught from behind at the 40-yard line. A 25-yard gain. Corey Cooper able to catch him, but a flag is down.
That was a great call by offensive coordinator John Shoup, just trying to find something for Danny Etling, just get a positive. And screen passes are always pretty safe to get something going.
During the play, illegal block, offense number 70. Half the distance. Repeat, second down.
What's this do to a young offense's confidence when you finally get a good play only to have it brought back?
Well, it's not good. It really hurts the confidence, especially a young team, because usually young teams do not recover from it within that series, where a veteran team can overcome it. That's the difference. Let's see if they can do that on a second long here.
Got to march the ball back. They spotted it back at the original line of scrimmage. Now they'll move it 5 yards back. It's from the spot of the foul, which was up the field, as you saw in that replay. So second down and 15 from the 10. Etling, nice one-handed grab in the flat, and Akeem Hunt out of bounds at the 15-yard line as we check in with Dave Revson once again for a studio update.
Okay, Kevin, Michigan State has answered Indiana's early score. Connor Cook to Jeremy Langford, who takes it into the end zone. It's 7-7, Hoosiers and Spartans in East Lansing.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. We'll continue to keep our eyes on that Indiana-Michigan State game. The Spartans answer back. 3rd and 9 here for the Boilermakers at the 16. Etling on the roll. Man open downfield. The catch is made by D'Angelo Yancey, and a first down. Andrew Green knocks him out at the 40-yard line, but Etling and the Boilermakers move the chains.
Andrew Green just got turned around at the safety position. There's a simple rollout, which is a good safe play for a young quarterback on a 3rd and long. Nice throw on the flag route. You have a little wheel route with a flag, a corner route, and Green just got turned around.
First 3rd down conversion of the day as Etling's back to the air. And a short gain out near the 44-yard line to Mike Keski. Harvey Jackson on the tackle for Nebraska.
To have a young quarterback, Kevin, to recover from a 2nd long situation, a good positive sign. Growth with your quarterback.
Huskers on 1st down have been very good. That was a goal of John Papuchis. He wanted to improve that 1st down efficiency. 2nd and 6. They try that screen again. Nebraska able to defend it well. Ciante Evans almost had 2 receivers defended there.
Yeah, Nebraska had enough of that screen pass. Hit us twice on it. Ciante's a smart player. He's a senior, been around. Has seen screen passes over and over again. Sniffed it out well on that. And that's tough to do because Nebraska's in man-to-man quite a bit. So you have to cover your man and watch for those screens at the same time.
Blitz coming. Etling in trouble. And Etling is sacked. Boy, that pocket collapsing quickly, and it was Stanley Jean-Baptiste, who's been an interception machine this year, gets in there to get the sack of Danny Etling.
The blitzes have been well-timed for Nebraska and very effective. One of the things that Bo Pelini wanted to improve on was his blitz package, and he's doing it. They're doing it very well today. And you're going to see a lot more of it, especially with young Danny Etling, young quarterback. Usually teams will bring blitz on you. Just no one to block. They didn't have a hat for him. And good job by Danny just squeezing the ball and getting on the ground. Don't give up the football.
Line drive to Westerkamp at the 14. And Westerkamp out near the 21-yard line. before Danny Anthrop makes the stop for Purdue. Huskers back on offense with a 14-0 lead on the road. Here's today's Jack Link's search for Sasquatch. Is he here at Ross-Ade Stadium?
I haven't seen him.
He doesn't usually check in with us when he goes on the road. No sign of him yet. Didn't see him at the hotel.
It's a perfect day for Sasquatch.
Oh, is that? No. It's a good facsimile, but it is not Sasquatch. He's not here. Huskers back to the ground game on first down. And back to Amir Abdullah, who gets minimal yardage. Will Lucas on the tackle. No gain for Abdullah.
That's your I-back power sweep, which has been a Nebraska staple forever, that Tim Beck has kept in the offense. Back to the shotgun spread.
Tommy Armstrong back in quarterback for Nebraska. Armstrong 3 for 7, 18 yards, and that interception in the end zone. 2nd and 10, and flags fly.
Not a great start for Tommy.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. The down remains 2nd.
The one thing, Kevin, when you switch quarterbacks at the beginning of the game, it's a different cadence. And you're going to get some lineman jumps sometimes because it's a different voice, different rhythm. That's hard on a lineman. It's not easy for linemen when you have two different quarterbacks coming in all the time.
Brent Qualley was called for that false start. 2nd and 15 for Nebraska. Armstrong. Nice catch by Amir Abdullah. Able to stay on his feet, but he is hammered for a loss on the play. Well, that play did not look good from the very beginning, and the Huskers will lose 5 yards. Austin Logan on the stop.
That was a mess. It's actually going to be a fake wide receiver screen to Bell, and then a little slip screen out the backside to Abdullah. It just didn't look good. Great catch there. A great second effort.
3rd down and 20. 3rd and 15 rather is Armstrong. Eludes the rush. Open is Westerkamp. He's got the first down across the 35 and down to the 37-yard line. Sean Robinson on the stop as Nebraska converts on 3rd.
Purdue brought a late blitz. Didn't get there in time. When you blitz, there's nobody left in the back end. You're all spread out all over the field defensively with too much space to cover.
Armstrong on first down. And Nunua with the catch and out of bounds at the 41. Give him 4. Normando Harris on the coverage.
Just showing variation in their offense. A little spin out, roll out play. Quick out. And you see the arm strength there of Tommy Armstrong.
Nunua's now caught a pass in 20 straight games, matching the 4th longest streak in Nebraska history. 2nd and 6, draw play. And Imani Cross not able to get much. Good job by Purdue. Staying home in the middle was Ryan Russell.
The old draw play, Kevin. Don't see it as much anymore. But Ryan Russell has been their floater on defense. They're moving him all over the formation to create some confusion for Nebraska.
Pressure coming. Armstrong in trouble and just wings it to nowhere. Boy, that late pressure from Ryan Isaac causing Armstrong some issues. And now 4th down.
Okay, here's your nose tackle right here. All right. Just nice pressure there. Just beating him to the outside. Staying with it. Nebraska's trying to block the nose guard with the center right now only. Usually you need a guard and center to help out with that big nose guard to see if they adjust as the game goes.
Foltz back on to punt again. He usually doesn't get a lot of work in the first half. 2nd punt of the half. A little wobbler. That's going to be down at about the 25-yard line. So Fultz and the Huskers give it back to Purdue. The Boilermakers trailing by 2 touchdowns. A little train ride for your Saturday afternoon in West Lafayette, Indiana, on its way to Ross-Ade Stadium. BTN football presented by the United States Marine Corps with Nebraska and Purdue with 9:09 remaining in this first half. Huskers with a 14-0 lead as the Boilermakers take over at their 25-yard line, first down and 10. The sweep to Hunt. And Akeem Hunt's got good speed, able to move forward to the 31-yard line. Today's United States Marine Corps leader of the game is Purdue sophomore center Robert Kugler, a GPA of 3.83, political science major, the 2012-2013 Big Ten Distinguished Scholar, the son of UTEP head coach Sean Kugler. And obviously, with a name like Kugler, he has to be a spectacular player and really just an all-around great individual. 2nd and 3. The give up the middle to Raheem Mostert, and Mostert powering forward for the first down. David Santos on the stop.
Good to see Mostert in there now. Their kick return specialist getting some action at running back. You saw the fly sweep to Akeem Hunt earlier. That's one of the adjustments that offensive coordinator John Shoup wanted to add to their offense, and it had a good game. So look for some more fly sweep to Akeem Hunt as the game goes.
First down and 10 from the 37. Short toss, good tackle by Ciante Evans. Dalen Dawkins gets a yard to the 38-yard line, and we check in once more with Dave Revson for a studio update.
Kevin, thanks. Michigan State has taken the lead now on Indiana. Connor Cook to Benny Fowler, his 3rd TD grab of the year as he fights his way into the end zone. 14-7 Spartans.
All right, Dave, thank you very much.
The Smart defense is something else, Kevin. Saw them up close and personal last week.
2nd and 9 at the 38. Edling. Swing pass, read beautifully, and a huge hit. And here comes the flag. Stanley Jean-Baptiste. Now, this will be an interesting call.
Sure. Could be a targeting.
Penalty, of course, changing for targeting this year. Not the rule, but the penalty has changed.
Personal foul. Targeting. Defense number 6. 15-yard penalty. By rule, number 6 is disqualified from the game. The previous play is under further review.
Now, he misspoke. He said number 6. It was 16 that brought the hit. And the game will stop now for the automatic review. Well, if that's targeting.
They're just hard calls to make so fast. But, yeah, he had helmet on helmet. Had helmet on helmet. He's leading with the head.
Obviously, it'd be a huge loss for Nebraska. Stanley Jean-Baptiste, 4 interceptions this year.
Dynamic player for him this year.
As of now, he is ejected. Now, what will happen? They will go to the replay booth. These are the targeting rules. You've seen and heard a lot about them this year. The rules have not changed, but the penalty has changed. But every disqualification is subject to review by instant replay. Now, the replay officials will look at this. They can reverse the ejection. However, Chuck, they cannot reverse the penalty. It'll still be 15 yards against Nebraska regardless.
Just going to look at if it's an ejection or not.
We've expanded your view a little bit and taken a look at it.
Yeah, that's a lead. It's a lead with the helmet, on helmet. And there hasn't been, I think the Big Ten's been very clean with that this year. And I know head coach Bo Pelini talks to his players all the time about it.
Well, every coach has worked on this with their defensive players. It's a huge concern for them because they don't want to see something like this happen. Bo Pelini certainly doesn't want to lose Stanley Jean-Baptiste for the remainder of this game.
That would have been a good opportunity for Baptiste to go low on that swing pass. It was just a little swing pass to the flat. Just go lower, go for the thighs. And you also have help with your defense, with your teammates rallying to the football.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Number 16 is disqualified from the game.
So the call stands. Awfully tough for Nebraska to lose Stanley Jean-Baptiste on that play. So Stanley Jean-Baptiste from that play is ejected for targeting. Jeff Jamrog, Nebraska's assistant athletic director for football, will walk him off the field. Bo Pelini obviously not agreeing with the targeting call.
And he's a good player. He's a clean player.
Well, the stars of the secondary entering today, Stanley Jean-Baptiste and Ciante Evans, and now number 16 is gone. From the 47, first down, juggle. Ball still loose, scooped up by Gregory. And Gregory's got it for the Huskers, who get it back at the 42 of Purdue. And here comes a flag at the end of the play. Gregory had it, and Chuck looked like for a minute he was going to try to pitch it to Josh Mitchell and then thought better of it.
Just a shotgun toss sweep by Purdue, which I never liked toss sweeps from the shotgun, Kevin.
Here's the ruling. Dave Whitvote will tell us.
After the play, personal foul, offense number 72. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Let's watch it again. It was a problem for Dalen Dawkins from the beginning.
It's behind, so that is a fumble. I never liked shotgun toss sweeps because you have to handle it twice. You have to catch the ball as a quarterback, grip it, throw it out there. Looked like a pretty good pitch from Etling. It just...
The previous play is under further review. Ruling on the field is a fumble.
They're going to look at it again.
I believe it is a fumble. It was backwards because the back's lined up behind the quarterback anyway from the start. So that's a fumble.
Yeah, that seems pretty clear. You can see at the end, Gregory had a notion. He saw Josh Mitchell there. Josh kind of put his hands back through. Not me. I don't want that.
All D linemen want to get rid of the ball if they're getting tackled.
You got Gregory trying to keep Roos from that ball at the end of the play. And Randy Gregory, who grew up just a little ways from West Lafayette, Indiana, was a Purdue commit, went to junior college, and then Purdue changed staffs. They didn't really continue to recruit Randy Gregory. Comes up with a big play.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
This is the after effects of the fumble.
Little ball security there, Randy. And that's a good job by is that Mitchell. Hey, don't give it to me. Too many guys around here. When we're on the bottom of the pile, Kevin, hey, you're scrapping for that football because you never know. There's been that ball can change a couple of hands down there.
From the 28, first down. Bobbled snap by Armstrong. Amir Abdullah, though, making the most of it. Abdullah into the clear, and he'll take it for the touchdown.
Just your eye-back power run. And Abdullah made it happen, though, after he broke the line of scrimmage. Purdue defense was just displaced there. Their safety overran it. Almost a fumble snap. Nice job getting him the ball Always break to the outside when you're a running back. There's less defenders out there. Nice play by Abdullah.
And Smith for the extra point. And a 21-0 Nebraska lead. So Stanley Jean-Baptiste is ejected for targeting. Nebraska gets the ball back on the next play, and then the following play, Amir Abdullah takes it for the touchdown and a 21-0 lead. Later today, it's a special encore presentation of BTN's award-winning original series. It's the show with an unprecedented look inside the Big Ten season. The Journey, Big Ten Football 2013, presented by Best Buy. Today at 5 p.m. Eastern, with all new episodes every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern on BTN. Kevin Kugler, Chuck Long, Jay Lehman from Ross-Ade Stadium at Purdue. Nebraska with a 21-0 lead after the touchdown from Amir Abdullah. And the kickoff, 3 yards deep. Here comes Akeem Hunt. And Hunt upended just across the 15. Starkebom again, who had a tackle earlier, makes the stop along with Michael Rose. And let's look back at that touchdown for Amir Abdullah.
You see the safety Richards here at Purdue has a clear shot at Abdullah, and Greg Hudson's teaching them to take a shot, but Abdullah just runs right through it. Everybody gets sucked inside. Richards has to make that play in order for the defense to work. Abdullah made him pay for it.
Personal foul. 17. Returning team. Half the distance. First down.
Flag came in very late at the end of that kickoff return. And on that touchdown, Chuck, when Tommy Armstrong bobbled that snap, did that end up helping Nebraska a little bit as everybody kind of drew in a little closer to Tommy Armstrong?
Sometimes mistiming plays on offense can do that. Like when somebody bobbles a punt return or a kick return, they take it to the house. That can happen. It just throws everybody off a little bit. You don't want the bobble snaps, though. That was a good defensive call by Greg Hudson, the defensive coordinator from Purdue, putting his players in the right position to make a play. They just didn't make the play.
Tough spot for young Danny Etling, the true freshman, starting from his own 8-yard line. Brandon Cottom, the tailback, with Hunt lining up in front of him in the eye, and Cottom, all 260 pounds of him, barreling forward, has a first down at the 18-yard line. What a run by Brandon Cottom, Corey Cooper, and Avery Moss on the stop.
Nebraska 96 must leave the game for one play.
That's what you like, little power football. Let's settle our quarterback down, get some run game going. Keep the legs moving, stay low. You'll get extra yards every time if you stay low and keep your legs moving. Cotton, that's nice. He's a big man.
From the 18 on first down. Here's Cottom again. And Cottom trying to drive forward, gets to the 22, a 4-yard gain. Nathan Gary on the stop for Nebraska.
His powerful leg drive got Cottom 4 yards. There's nothing there. He just kept his leg drive.
He only had 1 carry for 5 yards coming into play today, but had over 200 yards last year in 23 carries.
Coach Hazel told us he's keeping to his word, Kevin. He's going to put a lot of players out there today. He warned us.
Now Cottom will line up at fullback with Hunt, the tailback, on 2nd and 6. And Hunt trying to find some running room. Santos the first to get him, just shy of the 25-yard line.
Trying to put Hunt up in there like Cottom, a little different story. Hunt's more your edge back. Keep him on the edge. Sweeps and things of that nature. Use Cottom for up inside power, such as that play, although they're just probably giving Cottom a rest after 2 bruising runs like that.
So now 3rd and 3. Do you look back to your big running back in Cottom?
They're just working on their game right now, just different packages in their system to see if they can get better at them.
Hunt motioning out of the backfield. Etling to throw. Over the middle, the catch is made, and a first down at the 29-yard line. Nathan Gary there on the stop for Nebraska, but not before the freshman D'Angelo Yancey moves the chains.
Coach Hazel thinks that Etling and Yancey will be a great combination here someday. They're both going to grow up together. Both freshmen. They're not there yet. Takes a little time, Kevin, but by the time, a couple years from now, they'll be a prolific duo in this league.
He likes, does Coach Hazel, some of the young receivers that are forming a bond with Danny Etling. From the 30 on first down, Etling throws it short. Good open field tackle by Harvey Jackson at the 31-yard line before Justin Sims could really get going. Couldn't turn it upfield. Jackson with the stop. Stay tuned for the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report. Dave, Jerry, and Howard will be along from our Chicago studios with scores and highlights from all of today's action. Second and 9 at the 31. Etling with time. Nobody open, though, for Etling, and he'll have to throw it away. Danny Etling, for the first time today, Chuck, had plenty of time to look over the field, nobody to throw to.
Smart play there, and he's corrected himself from the beginning of the game when he tried to force it on a scramble. There's nobody there. Throw the ball away. Play smart. And again, another good sign of growth for a young freshman. Nothing there. Throw it away. You can throw it right across the line of scrimmage when you're out of the pocket. You don't need receivers in the area.
Third and 9 at the 31.
Tough spot to be in.
Four-man rush for Nebraska. Etling through the hands of his intended receiver and incomplete. He wanted Dan Monteroso. Slipped through his fingertips, and now fourth down.
Just got a little antsy in the pocket there, Kevin. He's just settled his feet to deliver the strike. Threw a little high behind. But that Nebraska's bringing pressure. They're rushing him pretty good. And Etling's feeling that.
Nebraska's defense, Bo Pelini said, made strides last week. Have they taken another step today?
I think so. They're playing fast right now. They're playing fast. They're tackling well. They're rallying to the football. They have some confidence going right now.
Webster with a much better punt, driving Westerkamp to the 20. And Westerkamp wrapped up before he could get to the 25. Raheem Mostert on the stop for Purdue. 21-0 Nebraska with the lead and the football when we return. They start them young in college football. She's very excited for that one. 21-0 Nebraska with the lead as we check in with Jay Lehman.
Yeah, Monty cross-checks in the game. A little bit bigger back than Amir Abdullah. Amir Abdullah, tiny, 5'9". At this level, it's hard to see him behind those big white shirts.
It's been hard to tackle him this year for opponents as well, as Cross takes it to the 28-yard line. A 4-yard gain. Ron Kellogg, the third, back in as well. You see the numbers on Amir Abdullah. 8 carries, 54 yards, just under a 7-yard per carry average. You were an offensive coordinator and a head coach. That'll work.
That's a pretty good average right there. That's nice when you're calling plays, when you have guys that get you that average. Makes it a lot easier.
Second and 6 for Nebraska. 3:20 to play in this first half. Cross looking for running room, not going to find much, maybe a yard. Will Lucas came in on the stop, but give some credit, Chuck, to Bruce Gaston as well, who was occupying a couple of guys out there.
Bruce is playing well, and he's playing, again, from a new position as a defensive end spot. It's not easy to switch position. He's playing very well. Maybe he's found a really true home now.
Went off injured earlier. Good to see him back out there and playing well. Third down and 5 at the 29-yard line.
Man-to-man for Purdue.
Kellogg with some time over the middle. Anunwa with the grab. Quincy Anunwa hurdling a man. Spinning out of another tackle. Look at Anunwa with the stiff arm and finally out of bounds at the Purdue 36. Ricardo Allen chased him out after Quincy Anunwa ran through tackler after tackler.
That's why he has over 1,000 yards in his career. You saw the big play capability of Anunwa. Nice hurdle there. This is just all him, extra effort. Good throw by, good patience by Ron Kellogg in the pocket, waiting for that pass to develop. Delivered it to the last second.
Play action for Kellogg. Looking deep for Enunwa. Enunwa can't pull it in at the 1-yard line. Coverage from the freshman Leroy Clark. And Enunwa a little bit slow to get up.
That's great effort. I'm surprised they went back with that play after that long run. Usually receivers are tired a little bit, need a blow, need a break. But they went right back to him on a deep post route. Couldn't quite get there. Ron Kellogg needed a little bit more loft on that football. I like the way they're putting Kellogg in the game, Kevin. Early in games to get him some experience. I think that's a smart move to give both Armstrong and Kellogg time early in games.
2nd and 10. Ethan Carter out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Quincy Enunwa, who has very good years so far, getting a rest right now.
Really strong player, especially to the catch. Strong hands. Knows where he is, how to keep his feet in bounds on the sideline. Sure-handed receiver. Those guys are hard to beat, hard to cover.
One of the team captains for Nebraska this year as the Huskers face a 3rd and 7 with 1:35 to play first half. Kellogg, late pressure comes and Gaston got him. Bruce Gaston, we just talked about him a minute ago, and Chuck, his 3rd sack of the year.
He just manhandled the offensive line there. Kept at it. Nice job. They're trying to block him with one guy up front. One lineman up front. You just can't do that with a player like him.
And that was Mike Mowdy that he beat Chuck. Mowdy, of course, the replacement for the injured Spencer Long.
And they put Gaston right over him, which was smart defensive call. But you need to get another guy, another hat on him. You need to block him with 2 guys.
4th and 16 now as Fultz will punt. Frankie Williams back at the 10 and a flag is thrown.
Play of game, offense number 37. 5-yard penalty. The down remains 4.
That was a protection problem that Nebraska had on that previous snap, Kevin. They just have to shore the protection up, go to more of a slide protection where you secure a gap instead of a man.
3 sacks allowed this year by Nebraska's offensive line. That's the fewest in the Big Ten. They hadn't allowed one in the last 2 games. A lot of hang time on this punt as it'll sail and bounce inside the 10-yard line. Good punt by Sam Fultz. As we check in downstairs with Jay Lehman. What have you seen in this first half, Jay?
Well, for Purdue's defense, I've only seen 2 linebackers in the entire game, meaning they're in nickel personnel. That means Ricardo Allen, who's playing the nickel, is actually trying to play a Sam linebacker position as well against run plays. That's tough duty. Chuck, question for you as an offensive coordinator. Do you focus on the run game more if they're going to be in nickel personnel the whole game for Nebraska as Purdue's in nickel personnel?
Yes, Jay. Usually when we have nickel personnel, 5 DBs or 6 go to the run game. And then when they get into their regular personnel, they're 4 DBs, and you get into the pass game. That's really a general rule of thumb throughout football. Not every team, but that's exactly what you do.
Hunt on the draw out of the gun to the 13-yard line. As we slide under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
This is smart by Purdue, just getting in at halftime, making some adjustments. And they need to come out with some good adjustments because they've been poor coming out in the 3rd quarter.
See the numbers. Nebraska in the first half has outscored their opponents 155-52 in the first half. And here in West Lafayette, they've outscored their opponent 21-0. Nebraska with the 3-touchdown lead at the break. Stay tuned for the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report. Dave, Jerry, Howard, Coach Mason are coming next. Our halftime score: Nebraska 21, Purdue 0. Beautiful afternoon for football. The U.S. Marine Corps presents our Big Ten football today as the Nebraska Cornhuskers have a 21-0 lead as we start this third quarter. And Chuck, we talked about this earlier, the edge to the game. Pretty good so far for Nebraska anyway.
Well, the Nebraska pressure has been very clean and efficient. It's forced 2 turnovers, so it's going well there. In the Purdue spread out game, it hasn't been so good in their passing attack. They need to come out and run the ball in their spread formations, especially in this quarter where Purdue has given up a lot of points. It helped Purdue to run the ball a little bit right now.
Let's check in with the third member of our crew, Jay Lehman. Jay?
Got a chance to talk to Coach Bo Pelini, and Coach Pelini said, I'm not satisfied with the communication on the defensive side of the football. Purdue's throwing a lot at us. We got to get better offensively. We've got to block better on the back side of our plays. Coach Hazel for Purdue said we can't turn the ball over to Nebraska. They're too good to do that. And we've got to convert on 3rd and longs on defense. We've got to stop the Huskers from converting those first downs.
Well, Coach Pelini talked all week and really has talked all year about the communication that he needs his defense to have. That communication allows him to call a multiple defensive game. And without that communication, you see a lot of breakdowns.
Usually comes from a safety or a linebacker.
Short pooch kick, fair catch called for and made by C.J. Zimmerer near the 30-yard line as we take a look at our Quicken Loans quarterback comparison. And as we compare the 2 quarterbacks for Nebraska, Tommy Armstrong Jr. and Ron Kellogg III. Chuck, your thoughts on those 2?
Well, Tommy had the mishap with the interception, but if you combine the 2, I think they've been very efficient. Exactly what offensive coordinator Tim Beck wants with his quarterbacks. And as I said before, it's good that he's getting both of them in the game early. That'll pay off down the road when they get into really, really big games down in November.
When we see Danny Etling, we'll see how he compares. As you look at the first possession of the third quarter, it's gone horribly wrong for Purdue for most of the year, and it was something Coach Hazel talked about with us yesterday, Chuck. He said we've got to be able to come out of the locker room and avoid that kind of a letdown.
When you're trying to build something in your first year, you do it quarter by quarter, too. You try to break it down to take those baby steps to get better in your program.
Amir Abdullah able to dance away from Frankie Williams and get a little extra yardage after Williams tried to take him out at the ankles, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and short for Nebraska. Huskers were pretty solid on 3rd down in that first half, 6 of 10 on 3rd in the first half for Nebraska. Tommy Armstrong Jr. with a 3rd and 4 from the 36. Four-man pressure. Armstrong over the middle, and the pass incomplete. Off target again, and Kenny Bell was open, and he's been quiet today, but Tommy Armstrong just missed it.
There seems to be miscommunication right now between Armstrong and his receivers. That's the 3rd time that I've seen miscommunication where Tommy thought he was going to run a different route. That's something they need to talk about on the sideline, get it straight. Too many of those add up to be bad things. Bad things will happen.
Big lift, though, for Purdue. We showed you that number the first possession of the third quarter. They come out and pitch a 3 and out. And here comes Sam Foltz on to punt for the Huskers.
That's a win for Purdue. A small win.
And Foltz right down the sideline. Tremendous punt. It goes out of bounds at the 13-yard line. And so Danny Etling's had 2 drives today start from the 8-yard line. Will start now at the 13. And the field position battle has certainly been won today by Nebraska. 51-yard punt as Etling comes out. And we told you we'd compare his numbers to the Nebraska quarterbacks. 8 of 14, 52 yards. But much better in that second quarter.
Came on in the second quarter. You like to see that in a young quarterback. Does he correct himself, or does he let the last play bother him? He had an early interception, didn't bother him. He came back from it.
From the 13 on first down. Posey, the motion man. Etling with time. Nice pass, good catch, and some room to run for Yancey. And D'Angelo Yancey out of bounds at the 39-yard line.
Just a simple crossing route against Nebraska's man-to-man coverage. When you play man-to-man teams, Kevin, you want to run a lot of crossing routes. Runaway routes, we call them. But that's nice throw to keep Yancey in stride to get more yardage after the catch.
Huskers with Zaire Anderson and Jared Afalava on, along with Santos, 3 linebackers out there for the Huskers. First tackle broken by Akeem Hunt as he gets near the 43, a pickup of 4. Last week, Danny Etling, when he first came into the game, or 2 weeks ago rather, against Northern Illinois, he was very good on first down, and then second through fourth, he kind of struggled a little bit, Chuck.
They had a good first down efficiency against Northern Illinois. They don't have as well as efficiency today, but started off in the third quarter good.
Akeem Hunt out near the 47-yard line, and it'll leave Purdue with another 3rd down and short. And here's what we were talking about numbers-wise against Northern Illinois. 72.2% completion percentage on first down, but dropped off from there.
First down is usually a lot of hitch throws and safe throws and less bombs. That's why percentages are higher a little bit on first down, but that 72% is really good.
Motion man is Beatty, the tight end, on 3rd and 3. Etling. Nowhere to go. A flag is down as Etling throws incomplete.
Usually a hold.
Holding, offense number 64. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Kevin Pamphile, the left tackle, called for the hold, and it's 4th down.
See the left side of your screen here. When a quarterback breaks the pocket, it's a natural tendency for a lineman to hold because they're already engaged with their hands on the defender. It's an age-old problem.
Westerkamp back, awaiting the Webster punt. And it's a fake. And they're going to throw short and incomplete. Purdue doing a little trickery, and the pass falls incomplete.
I love the call, and they had him wide open.
And who was it? It was the former quarterback, Rob Henry.
Rob Henry, they had him wide open. Love the call. They just didn't execute it. They needed to seal the edge right there. They had a Nebraska defender up in his face. He couldn't get into his throw. Wasn't strong enough with his throw, but that's a great call. And that's something Coach Hazel in his first year, you need to do those things.
First down and 10 at the 46, play action. Tommy Armstrong Jr. looking deep. Looking for a Nunwa, and the pass is incomplete. Leroy Clark out there on the coverage, and it's 2nd down.
That was a nice throw by Tommy Armstrong. Maybe a little bit more loft on the ball. Everything with post routes is loft on the football. Make sure you put enough air on it. But he put it in a good spot.
3rd time today the Huskers have started in Purdue territory. They start there as a result of the failure to convert on the fake punt on 4th down.
Looked like a new one, just couldn't quite accelerate to the ball.
So Armstrong leaves now, and Ron Kellogg III is into the game as Tommy Armstrong Jr. getting looked at on the sidelines. Kellogg to Bell. First catch for Kenny Bell, and he's out of bounds with a 1st down at the Purdue 34.
Just a simple out route on the sideline, Kevin. Corner was very soft in coverage. Was giving him the out, and Nebraska took it.
So Armstrong, after that incompletion, leaves, been tended to over on the sideline, and now Ron Kellogg III into the game. Nebraska getting dangerously low in quarterbacks. Amir Abdullah nowhere to run, and it's 2nd down. Will Lucas filling that hole, tackling Amir Abdullah as they check out Tommy Armstrong Jr.
That's why I think it's smart to play 2 quarterbacks right now with Taylor Martinez being out. Get him both time. It'll pay off for you. Yeah, it looks like something in his eye.
Official timeout for an injured player.
Might be a contact problem.
And Will Lucas is the injured Boilermaker. And I want to talk about a guy who's been all over the field today. Will Lucas, the senior from Lakeland, Florida, has been that guy as Tommy Armstrong Jr. gets looked at on the Nebraska sideline.
Really like the way the Purdue defense is playing today, Kevin. They're flying around the field, and this, don't forget, this is a brand new defense, basically. Now, they worked it in training camp. They worked this defense in training camp. A lot of defensive coordinators want to work some packages and then put it on the shelf. At least they have it, so when they get to it, it can come back fast to your players, to your team. And they're playing very well in a new system. They worked all through their bye week.
Yeah, I like it that they do two systems, that they practice that, because you never know, especially as a new staff taking over players you're not familiar with, you don't know what system's going to fit those players best. Specifically with Ryan Russell and Jelani Phillips, they think they're their best athletes. They want to play them at that floater position and give them a chance to make plays. We'll see how that works out from this season, from here on in the season.
As you know, Jay, training camp's one thing, but when you get into games, that's quite another. So that's why you have to see what you have in games before you can switch things around, don't you think?
I would agree with that. I mean, they had the bye week, but at this point, they're trying to look at whatever works and try to say, okay, from here on out, we're going to go this way with our personnel. And I think they've drawn a line in the sand and say, hey, we'll go with the 3-4 and see how it works. And so far, it's had its issues. Obviously down 21-0 today, but they've shown some improvement.
Jay, thanks. 2nd and 10 at the 34-yard line. Toss play, Amir Abdullah with good yardage, out of bounds near the 26-yard line, run out by Taylor Richards. It was funny, Chuck, we were talking with Tim Beck earlier in the week, and he said the toss play is something that they have run here for years. He loves to run it. He said, it's like Tums for me. It settles your stomach.
and it's a staple with Nebraska for years, all the way back to Tom Osborne, and that was smart of them to keep that play. Keep a little history in your program.
You always wanted Tums nearby if you're an offensive coordinator.
That's right.
32 at the 26. Toss to Abdullah again, and Abdullah caught from behind by Ricardo Allen. A yard short of the first down, and now 4th and 1 at the Purdue 25.
And Allen's playing very, very, very well today. Again, in a new position in the nickelback, which ends up being the Sam linebacker. So he's playing a linebacking position.
4th and 1, Nebraska goes. Amir Abdullah backing his way to the first down. Ryan Russell hit him. There's that strength again that we talked about from Amir Abdullah.
He's impressed me. Right between the tackles, he's getting hit. He's taking some hits today, Kevin, and he's still churning out.
He's got more yards. He's got more yards through his first 5 games than any Husker I-back since Amon Green in 1997. Here's Amani Cross giving Abdullah a breather, and Cross breaking some tackles down to the 15-yard line.
Such a change of pace between Abdullah and Cross. You know, Abdullah's smaller, quicker back, and then you get Cross in there, who's big, 225-pound back. That's a good change of pace for Nebraska. Hard on a defense.
Huskers picking up the pace a little bit. 2nd and 2 at the 15. And some movement from the fullback. A little bit of creeping forward from C.J. Zimmerer.
False start. Offense. Number 31. 5 yards. Down remains. 2nd.
Zimmerer will leave. We'll remind you that Nebraska and Purdue, and later tonight it's Purdue and Northwestern in women's volleyball. Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Eastern tonight on BTN and BTN to go.
Here's where Coach Bo Pelini said they need to finish more in their drives. Here they are in the red zone.
Cotton is the motion man. Cross the carry. And Purdue up to the challenge once again. Look at all of those Boilermaker uniforms swarming to Imani Cross. He only gets a yard.
One thing when you're a defensive coordinator you look at, and Jay can allude to this, but if you're not there yet in your system, are they running to the football? That's the one thing you got to see on tape when you turn it on Sunday. Are they running to the football? And they're doing that right now.
3 receivers into the pattern on 3rd down and 6 at the Purdue 19. Kellogg for Bell. Bell's got it inside the 5, and Kenny Bell sets Nebraska up with a 1st and goal at the 2.
Just when you think it's getting quiet for Kenny Bell, he comes out with the big play. Simple slant play against a cover 2 defense. Found a little soft spot in the zone between the corner and the linebacker. And Kellogg just placed it there nicely and threw a little bit behind him to save him from the hit from the linebacker. That's good ball placement.
Bell still dinged up a little bit as he's tended to on the sidelines. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line.
There's a blitz.
They give to Cross running into the teeth of the blitz, and he's got the touchdown.
Nebraska has a bead on Purdue's blitz down there because every time they blitzed in the red zone, Purdue's gotten stung. So that's something they obviously talked about at halftime. Hey, they're going to blitz us down there. Let's go to these inside zone type plays with Cross in the backfield.
2 touchdowns today for Cross. 5 times in his career now with multiple rushing touchdowns. Smith with the extra point. It is good, and a 28-0 Nebraska lead. Today at 5 p.m., it's a special encore presentation of the Journey Big Ten Football 2013 presented by Best Buy. Check out the behind the scenes with the 2 new head coaches in the Big Ten, Purdue's Darrell Hazel and Wisconsin's Gary Anderson. We go inside the meeting rooms and practice as each of these 2 prepared to face the other in their first conference game. Plus, Darrell Hazel wired for sound. Let's take a look. Next weekend, conference play continues to heat up on BTN. First, Purdue takes on Michigan State. Then the Hoosiers and Michigan square off. Then in primetime, Wisconsin battles Illinois. Pre-game coverage starts at 11 with kickoff at noon Eastern next weekend on BTN and BTN to go. Chuck Long, you and I aren't going to know what to do with ourselves. You, me, Jay Lehman, we can all sit around and watch a little football next Saturday afternoon because we've got the night game with Wisconsin matching up with Illinois.
Yeah, we'll see how it all shapes up before that game. October is always a great month for football because everybody's still in the race.
Hopefully some Illinois fans maybe will let us spend some time at their tailgate before the broadcast. While Bondi with the kickoff. And Bondi powers it through the end zone for the touchback. Today's Nissan Heisman history, Nebraska's Eric Crouch, the 3rd Cornhusker Heisman winner, and now a member of the BTN crew. Over the 12 games in his senior season, 2,688 yards and 26 touchdowns. He went on to capture the 2001 Heisman Trophy that year. Hard to believe that he began his career losing a starting quarterback battle to Bobby Newcomb.
They've had a great tradition of quarterbacks themselves in Nebraska. Eric has had a great career. Not a real big guy, did it? Ran option, not very big, tough player.
From the 25 on 1st down at 10. And a flag is thrown.
Delay of game. Offense number 5. 5-yard penalty. The down remains 1st.
This is the quarter that's gotten away from Purdue. They need to have a nice drive here. Try to get something going. Don't forget about the run game to help the quarterback out.
Akeem Hunt is the single setback. Etling will throw on 1st down. And Etling looking deep and nobody out there. This is a young squad, and we've seen it at times today. This young squad continuing to grow. And just to illustrate that, 49% of the game roster, you have 70 players up, which is game roster or travel roster if they were on the road. 49% true freshmen, redshirt freshmen, or sophomore.
That's one of the largest numbers I've seen of any team. And Coach Hazel's starting over with all those guys, and they're all going to go together along with the coach.
Toss play, Hunt. And Akeem Hunt out at the 22-yard line. Now, when they're facing this Nebraska defense, they're facing some youngsters as well on the defensive side for Nebraska. This is a very young defense that the Huskers have put out there on the field. Bo Pelini's working with some young troops. Look at that, 54% of the travel roster, and a lot of that on the defensive side of the football.
You're playing freshmen a lot more than you ever used to. And it shows on the field.
Toss to Mikeski, and Mikeski out of bounds near the 34-yard line, about a yard short of the 1st down. But that throw by Etling, he's on the far side, goes all the way to the near sideline to make the completion.
You see the arm strength that offensive coordinator John Shoup was talking about. He's on the other hash and throwing it all the way to the sideline. to the opposite side. Not many quarterbacks can do that now, Kevin.
It is 4th down, just a yard short of the first, and the punt team comes on. Fair catch called for and made by Westerkamp. And Nebraska's offense will go back to work with a 28-0 lead.
Media timeout.
Nebraska is going to be happy to have a bye week after this one. Jamal Turner, obviously out of uniform at this point. He'd been slowed all week by a hamstring, and there's real bad news for Nebraska. Spencer Long out there in street clothes and on crutches. Not a good sign.
Not a good sign. He's a captain. You don't ever want to lose your captain, especially on the field of play. Leadership is so valuable.
Tommy Armstrong Jr. back in at quarterback. And the toss to Amir Abdullah. And a good first down carry for Abdullah out near the 37. Andy James Garcia on the tackle for Purdue.
There's your simple toss sweep that we talked about earlier, Kevin. That's Nebraska staple, and the linemen love that play.
There's Spencer Long, a lineman who'd love to be out there to help out his team right now. Abdullah with a first down across the 40 and churning to the 44-yard line. 7-yard pickup for Amir Abdullah.
Nebraska's just trying to impose their will on Purdue right now with their run game. They slowed the pace down a little bit. Just trying to use some clock here. Purdue showing blitz again. This is where Nebraska, they know it now, so they got a different play. They see the blitz of Purdue.
Armstrong to the sideline and sent it too tall for Kenny Bell. And of the two Nebraska quarterbacks today, Chuck, Tommy Armstrong had been the one who came in with the hotter hand, but Ron Kellogg III's probably been a little more efficient in the passing game today.
He has today. He's been very impressive, and they need to continue to bring both of them in the game. Split them equally in this game from here on out.
2nd and 10 at the 44. And the push ahead by Terrell Newby. Joe Gilliam on the tackle. Kenny Bell, 4th in the Big Ten a year ago in yards per catch. Back out on the field, a good sign for Nebraska. He was dinged up earlier on this play.
Yeah, this looks like a shoulder in there.
He's back out there now for Nebraska. Flag is down. This is a free play for Tommy Armstrong. Going deep for Kenny Bell. And it's knocked away at the last moment.
They went with a hard count. They haven't done it all game long. The Purdue defensive line was getting into a rhythm of the Nebraska Cajuns, so the Nebraska coaches changed it up. Got a free play.
90 offense. Penalties decline. 4th down.
And whenever you get a free play, Kevin, just throw the ball up in the air.
He just called it offsides on 90 offense.
Penalty. 3rd down.
There we go.
Just throw it up in the air when you have a free play.
So Bruce Gaston was offside. Nebraska gets another opportunity as Bell gets tended to. A little equipment malfunction for Kenny Bell.
I've been the gloves again.
So now 3rd and 2 at the Purdue 48. And a first down for Amani Cross. Ryan Isaac on the tackle, but enough to move the chains.
Well, Purdue is true to form. They're showing blitz just about every play right now.
Last week, Kenny Bell electrifying the fans at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln and the nation with one of the best catches of the year.
Just an outstanding player, and had a chance to visit with him on the phone in our show. Great young man.
A terrific talent for Nebraska, part of a very talented receiver core. And a hole to run through on the left side for Newby, and Terrell Newby gets the first down to the 30 of Purdue, a 15-yard gain.
Nebraska had the right call on there. Purdue was showing blitz from the field. Nebraska ran away from it where there's less defenders. Good call. Good play call. That just scouting your opponent in certain situations.
Armstrong looking deep again. And the pass deflected and incomplete. And noon with the intended receiver, Leroy Clark, the true freshman, had some good moments today in that backfield for Purdue.
Yeah, that was nice coverage. As Tommy gets better as a quarterback, every throw right now in his post routes are over the top. Sometimes the defender's over the top, so you got to drive the ball right at him on an underthrow. As he grows in the offense, he'll get better at that. Purdue showing blitz every time in this whole drive. Now they're backing out of it.
Option play, and a great play made defensively by the true freshman Evan Panfield. They pulled his red shirt today, and what a tackle of Tommy Armstrong Jr.
One of the things you can cover in the 34 defense is option football. Because you have a guy on the edge automatically to take that quarterback.
Well, Jay, an impressive play for Panfield.
Very impressive play. And you look at Purdue's defense, it's feast or famine. With all the pressure they're bringing, it looks like they get a lot of good plays because they're hitting the right spots, getting a tackle for loss. But then there's famine plays where big plays get popped. There's the big play right there.
And the interception, the second today, thrown by Tommy Armstrong Jr. as Andy James Garcia, another freshman, comes up with the pick.
Tommy just stared it down to his one receiver. Didn't see that linebacker falling back into the hole off of the blitz look.
And so the turnover thrown by Armstrong, and the offense of the Boilermakers going back to work. 28-0 Nebraska with the lead. Chuck Long, what'd you see on that last interception?
Well, you see a blitz look by Purdue right here off the edge, but he's got to account for the linebacker, okay? Here comes the blitz off the edge to make Tommy throw a little bit quicker than he wants to. There's a linebacker right in the hole to make the play. Nice scheme. That was a good defensive series for Purdue. One of their best of the year.
This is Purdue's 11th offensive possession. Every one of them has started inside their own 25-yard line. And not much running room, maybe a yard to the 17-yard line. Right up the gut for Raheem Mostert.
That's something to build on. It was a nice series defensively. Get the ball back for your offense. Work your pass game here, but don't forget about the run.
2nd and 9. Etling under pressure from Gregory, and Randy Gregory's got the sack. And it'll be a safety for Nebraska.
Just a young mistake there, Kevin. Once you get outside the pocket right there, don't go back into the pocket. Just throw the ball away. Live to fight another day. Once you go outside the pocket here, don't go backwards into the pocket.
Watch his knee. Is his knee down before he backs into the end zone? I think that's a hard safety to take if you're Purdue. Watch right there.
Oh, he might be down. Depends on which ball broke the plane, right? Right.
Etling with a sack from Gregory in the end zone. Results in 2 points. Etling talking about it right now. Watch it again. There's the knee. And the competitive disadvantage may be what's being ruled here for the safety as Nebraska increases its lead.
John Shoup, the offensive coordinator, just telling Danny, hey, just throw the ball away. Don't go back into the pocket. You're already outside the pocket. Great play by Gregory, staying with it. One of the big impact players on their defense.
So it is a safety. Nebraska will get it back after the free kick. Doobie. And Westerkamp, and it's Westerkamp at the 30. And Westerkamp with a nice return off the free kick just shy of the 45-yard line. So Nebraska going back to work with good field position. Colin Link on the tackle of Westerkamp. Tommy Armstrong Jr. and the Nebraska offense going back to work.
Let's see if Purdue stays with their blitz package that was so effective this last series. If I'm you, Jay, would you do that? Blitz some more?
30-plus points for Nebraska, scored in 15 of the last 20 games. Of course, 30 scored today. Huskers offense finding ways to get it done, and the defense chipping in with a couple today as Amir Abdullah is caught in the open field by Anthony Brown. And Brown with a nice tackle where it looked like Abdullah was about ready to pop one.
Anthony Brown has played well. He's really coming on in this game. That was a great open field tackle against a really good back. Because they had the edge. If he misses that tackle now, he's going to get about 10-15 yards on that run. Great play by Brown.
Second down and 7. Abdullah again, a flag down as Amir Abdullah takes it into Purdue territory at the 47. Garcia on the tackle. And our referee Dave Whitboat with the call.
Personal foul, shot block. Offense number 74. 15-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
BTN Originals brings you the story of the 2000 Purdue team, led by Drew Brees. Hear from legendary Boilermaker players and coaches about the magical run to the Rose Bowl. It's Big Ten Elite 2000 Purdue football, presented by Chase, right after the postgame show on BTN. Mike Mowdy called for the penalty. Remember, he came in for Spencer Long.
Left side of the screen here, you got a high-low block. Engage. You can low block, but you just can't have another lineman have their hands on them at the same time.
Another tremendous open field play as Abdullah able to spin away from Colin Link and take it out to the 36-yard line. Jake Replogle over to clean it up. Link, though, starting the slow progress. He rolls right over Link, though.
Have to keep playing defensively, especially with a back like Abdullah. You're not down. Look at that. Keep playing.
So now 3rd and 19 for Nebraska. Armstrong with time. Now pressure late. Armstrong looking downfield. Anunwa had it hit off his hands and incomplete.
There's been a couple of drops today, which is not like the Nebraska receiving corps. That was a great play by Tommy Armstrong. Here's how you want to escape from the pocket. You want to go up and then out of the pocket to get better vision. Do a nice ball on the sideline. E2-1 needs to come up with that ball.
Frankie Williams back. Foltz on to punt. Good punt by Foltz, driving Williams back inside the 10, but it takes a Purdue bounce and into the end zone for the touchback.
2 good series by the Purdue defense.
Purdue's in the hardest part of their schedule right now. After that bye, or before the bye week rather, playing 3 straight opponents that were all in BCS bowl games a year ago. Notre Dame, Wisconsin, and Northern Illinois.
They have one of the toughest schedules in the Big Ten this year. It's not going to get any easier.
Hard to look at the schedule and say Nebraska is your breather game. 3 straight BCS opponents, a bye week, and then the Huskers come to town. Pressure up the middle. The pass is incomplete. That pressure coming from Malik Collins, who forced the early pass from Danny Etling. There's the remainder of the schedule for Purdue. They don't see Michigan, Northwestern, or Minnesota. But next week at Michigan State here on BTN, and then November with Ohio State, Iowa, Penn State, Illinois, and Indiana. It's a rough road.
Rough road.
And a true freshman quarterback leading the way. 2nd down and 10 from the 20. Edling off play action. Looking deep for Yancey. And Yancey makes a tremendous catch. In double coverage, Yancey able to grab it on his hip. And it'll be 1st down for Purdue.
How do you like this Yancey? A freshman receiver making plays like that. And Edling underthrew the ball. He had him beat. If you just let him a little bit
Pass
more.
interference. Defense number 5. Penalties decline. 1st down.
What a catch by the freshman D'Angelo Yancey.
He had the defense beat. He came back. What a play. Concentration.
It's a one-handed catch with a body right in front of you. 1st down at the Husker 44. Edling under some pressure, and Gregory's got him again. 2nd time today that Randy Gregory has gotten to the quarterback. And Purdue takes a step back.
They're having trouble blocking Randy Gregory right now. They need to use 2 guys on him, the tackle and a running back to help out, especially on the blind side of the quarterback. Edling cannot see him, and he is good.
Husker defense, 3 or more sacks in each of the last 4 games. That was the 3rd sack of the day for Nebraska, as the pass is incomplete. And now 3rd and long for Purdue.
Not an ideal situation right now. 3rd and extra long for a young quarterback. Just be smart with the football here. Be smart with the play call. Throw up a fade or a go route on the outside, or some type of screen pass. Keep the throw safe.
3rd and 21. 4-man rush. Pressure coming again. Collins got to him first, and then the sack closes the door. Greg McMullen able to put Edling down once more. The 4th Husker sack of the day.
Just too much pressure right now on that offensive line. He really doesn't have much time to throw the ball. Just a 4-man rush with a twist up front, and the offensive lineman did not pass off the twist soon enough.
Westerkamp with a fair catch at the 32-yard line. Nebraska's defense doing its job on the road today. They've shut out Purdue with 5 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. The Boilermakers shy of 150 yards in total offense through nearly 3 quarters.
And we're up 30-0. When you're on defense and you have the lead like that, you basically get in a track stance as a defensive lineman, because you know they're going to throw the ball a lot to try to win. So that's where you can get a lot of sacks. You're not even playing run anymore. You're just going to go get the quarterback. It's a different mindset at that point in time.
Abdullah with a big hole. Amir Abdullah looking for a block. Abdullah all the way down to the 35-yard line of Purdue. Amir Abdullah closing the 3rd quarter strong. Leroy Clark able to catch him, but a 33-yard scamper to close the 3rd for the Husker I-back. Amir Abdullah now 7 runs of at least 30 yards this season, 4 in the last 2 weeks, and this one sets the Huskers up to start the 4th with a 30-0 lead. BTN football presented by the United States Marine Corps as we start the 4th quarter. I'm Kevin Kugler alongside Chuck Long. Jay Lehman on the field, a 30-0 lead for the Nebraska Cornhuskers as we start the 4th. Here's our Duluth trading hardest working player, and it's Amir Abdullah. So far, 19 carries, 124 yards and a touchdown. 5 out of 6 games this year, 100 yards or more on the season.
And he doesn't go sideways very long. He gets north and south quick. Very aggressive back. Tough and strong.
Ron Kellogg, the third, the quarterback for this possession for the Huskers. 1st and 10 at the 35 of Purdue. Carry for Abdullah made Gaston miss. Nice job by Abdullah because Gaston had great penetration into the backfield, got positive yardage where it didn't look like he was going to get any.
Gaston was right there to make the tackle, but Abdullah has great vision. He feels that right at the handoff. You know how hard that is? He's taking a handoff. There's a guy right in front of him, and he makes a miss. Great vision and moves. Very impressed with him.
2nd and 8 at the 33. Imani Cross the carry, and this time nobody's missing Cross as Isaac got there first. Bruce Gaston able to finish him off.
Gaston has been impressive too, Kevin. He's been dominant in this football game. This is the type of game that the NFL scouts will look at because that's a good Nebraska offensive line.
Remember a couple of years ago, he blocked an extra point against Ohio State, pushed that game into overtime. Purdue and the Buckeyes, thanks to Gaston getting a big hand in there and swatting that extra point away. 3rd and 8 from the 33, pressure coming. Kellogg throwing in the face of pressure. It's a Nunwa. A Nunwa inside the 10 and knocked out of bounds at the Purdue 9-yard line.
Well, they caught Purdue in a blitz and they picked it all up offensively in their protection. So he had time to throw a crossing route that got past all the linebackers because when you blitz guys now, there's not enough defenders back there. And if you have time to throw, you're in trouble defensively. Good protection, picked it all up, crossing route. Nunwa made Purdue pay.
1st down and goal from the 8. Kellogg with time for the end zone, and he threw that one away. Looking in the direction of Abdullah and Cotton.
Good throwaway. There's 2 receivers in the same area, though. That was not good spacing for Nebraska in that pass play. But good throwaway. Smart play.
Chuck, you know, you're talking about Bruce Gaston making plays. You know, in the 3-4, it frees him up a lot more than the 4-3, where he was getting double-teamed as a nose tackle. Now he's getting single-blocked receiver in the backfield all day.
That's a good point.
And he's taken advantage of it as well. Kellogg 8 for 11 for 124 yards this afternoon. 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Cross with the carry. And Imani Cross had that ball pop out right at the end. He's down, though. No gain on the play, and it's 3rd and goal.
2 goals that offensive coordinator Tim Beck told us, Kevin. 2 improvements he wanted to see were no turnovers. Well, they've already had turnovers. They've had the turnover, and then finishing drives was their 2nd goal in this game.
No gain on the play.
I mentioned that ball coming out, but down.
He was down.
So now 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line. Kellogg throws short. Enunwa at the 5, and Enunwa diving for the touchdown.
And they finished the drive. Nice extra effort by Enunwa. A little flat pass. Safest part of the area to throw the football.
Play. Helmet off.
Quincy Enunwa into the end zone for the 7th time this season. A rare 4th quarter touchdown for Quincy Enunwa. 4 of his previous 6 had been in the 1st quarter. Pat Smith with the extra point, and the kick is good. So Quincy Enunwa on the receiving end of that Ron Kellogg, the 3rd touchdown pass, and with 12:47 to play, Enunwa and the Huskers enjoying a 37-point lead on the road. After the games wrap up tonight, the Final Drive brings you all the scores, stories, and highlights from the entire Big Ten. The Final Drive tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on BTN. And, of course, that'll be after Michigan-Penn State, and that matchup tonight between Allen Robinson and Blake Countess is one to watch.
That's going to be fun to watch. Two of the better players in the league, having great years. Probably the best corner against the best receiver in the league right now.
Allen Robinson is explosive, and Countess has had a tremendous year. It'll be a fun one tonight. And then the Final Drive will put the capper on it later on BTN. Bondi's kickoff. About to the 1-yard line. Akeem Hunt finding very little running room as he's driven out of bounds by Leroy Alexander. Let's check in with Dave Revson once more in Chicago for a studio update.
Kevin, Indiana-Michigan State was tight for a while, but that time has passed. Michigan State blowing this one open. Jeremy Langford, 3 TDs all year coming in, has 4 in this game. They've just added another one. It's now 42-21.
Wow, Dave, thank you very much. And everybody has said, Chuck, that if an offense shows up to go along with that Michigan State defense, the rest of the Legends division's got some concerns, and the offense may be showing up.
They were my summer dark horse division leader, and just for that reason, if Michigan State finds an offense now, look out.
Edling on first down, dumps it short, and a pickup of 9 to the 29-yard line for Justin Sins. David Santos and Harvey Jackson with the tackle.
Good little boot play to start with Danny Etling. You know, they've been working a lot of pocket passing with him. Get him on the edge a little bit, which they did there. It's a little safer throw, easier to read.
Etling on play action, pressure coming, and the pass incomplete.
Same type of play there, just a little bootleg, get out of the pocket. You basically only have 2 receivers in the route when you bootleg. You limit your receivers. You can't go to all 5. You only have 2 to go to, but it makes it easier for the quarterback.
Etling's been better since that 1-for-4 start in the first quarter. Just getting a little more comfortable out there. 3rd and 1 at the 29. And the run play with a first down. Good, strong run after contact from Akeem Hunt to the 36-yard line.
These running backs today, and both teams are really running hard and right up the middle. And here's Hunt, not a real big guy, only 5'9", taking it right through the teeth of Nebraska's defense.
At the 36, first down. Edling looking deep, and the pass incomplete. He wanted Monteroso running stride for stride with Mohamed Cisse.
Yeah, why not? Give it a shot. Work on your go balls. You know, go balls are hard to complete, hard to work on. Work on it.
Second down and 10 at the 36.
Get your run game going a little bit here. Don't always throw the ball. Put a little run in here.
Bilal Marshall in motion. Pressure up the middle late, and a drop at the 40-yard line. Mikeski had it hit his hands, and that's one he's going to say he should have pulled in.
Yeah, receiver's got to help the young quarterback out. I like his poise, though. He's a very bright future, this young man. Studious, conscientious, loves the game. Coaches just have raved about him. A lot of good young quarterbacks in this league for years to come, and it's going to be fun to watch them. Armstrong and Etling.
And a flag down. Play clock down to 0.
Play of game, offense number 5. 5-yard penalty. The down remains 3rd.
That's on the coach, though. I mean, the head coach now, you can call your timeouts from the sideline. And especially with a young quarterback, he's not going to pay attention to the clock much. He doesn't have that kind of awareness yet. I'm sure Coach Hazen said, that's mine. I should have helped him out.
Big triple header next weekend, starting with Purdue, Michigan State, and ending with Wisconsin, Illinois on BTN. 3rd and 15, and the pass incomplete. Corey Cooper trying to leap up and pick that one off behind Shane Mikeski. And the punt team will come on for the Boilermakers.
Another youthful mistake for Etling. You never want to throw a 50-50 pass. What I call a 50-50 pass. Either 50 for them or 50 for us. You don't want to do that. That's what that was. But at least he put in a spot they couldn't catch it on defense.
Webster to punt, 8th punt today, averaging just over 35 yards a punt. He came in averaging 45 yards per punt. This is a good one from Webster. Westerkamp backing up, and Fields over the shoulder at the 11-yard line. Westerkamp unable to get much, down to the 13, just a 2-yard return for Jordan Westerkamp, and with 11:22 to play in this 4th quarter, Nebraska starts deep in their own end.
That's one thing they really have to work on, Kevin. Part of their special teams unit is their punt return. Only 3.8 yards for the year on average. So that unit needs to get better. Create better field position.
First down and 10 for the Huskers. Bo Pelini, the head coach, in his 6th season at the helm of Nebraska. Record of 53-21 as he sends his offense out first down with Tommy Armstrong Jr. at quarterback. Terrell Newby to the outside, and Newby tripped up as he gets to the 20-yard line. Let's get in the Wayback Machine here, Mr. Peabody, as we go back to Youngstown, Ohio, and the young Bo Pelini.
There he is.
You look at the picture of him on the left of the screen in the football uniform. That's the same look he has on the face on the sidelines right now. Stoic. The left-handed layup there by Pelini.
A little less hair.
You said it, I didn't. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And there's a distinct Youngstown connection. There is the offensive coordinator of the Huskers, Tim Beck, also the quarterback coach. Cardinal Mooney high school product as well. And now that is form. That's form passing right there.
Where did he get that form, Kevin? Who's his quarterback coach there?
That is not Chuck Long mid-80s form at the University of Iowa.
Tim's done a great job here in Nebraska. His coaching quarterbacks very well.
Monty Cross just shy of the first down. I mentioned Chuck Long and Iowa in the 80s. The 80s were an interesting time. Now look at the hairstyles in the Big Ten through the years. Chuck Long had that look. I don't know what Jay Lehman's look. I'm not sure what was going on with that.
I like Jay's look.
And
Be
Kenny Bell
easy with that, guys. I had the beautiful blonde locks on the back of the helmet. I was one of the first ones to start the long-haired craze among linebackers.
Long-haired craze. They called it the J-Flow, right? No?
It wasn't quite a fro because it didn't have
No, not fro. Flow. It was flowing.
Throw. Yes, throw. You could call it that. I thought it was beautiful.
It was a good look. Short wobbly punt takes a good Nebraska bounce and fielded just shy of the 35-yard line. Timeout on the field, 9:25 to go in the 4th. Nebraska in control with a 37-0 lead.
Football on BTN is brought to you by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. And by the United States Marine Corps. The United States Marine Corps celebrates the fighting spirit of this year's Big Ten players. And by the all-new Yamaha Viking side-by-side. Yamaha, real world tough.
Train making its way all around campus here at Purdue University. 37-0 Nebraska leads Etling on first down. Best starting field position of the day for the Boilermakers as Akeem Hunt has nowhere to go.
Just a little screen pass out to the flat that worked earlier in the day, but Nebraska's seen it. Not gonna do that one again. It's all playing pass right now for Nebraska's front four. They all want a sack now.
Huskers last had a shutout in the Holiday Bowl a few years ago when they blanked Arizona 33-0. That was December of 09, and Ndamukong Suh in that Nebraska defense shutting out the Wildcats.
Bring blitz.
Etling hit as he throws, and the pass incomplete, but a flag. Josh Mitchell gave a little shove, and Nebraska's coaches are going to look at that, Chuck, and they're going to say that was an unnecessary push for Mitchell. He didn't need to contact him.
Yeah, and was the ball catchable?
Pass interference. Defense number 5. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Guess it was.
Cameron Posey was the receiver. Josh Mitchell flagged for interference.
Yeah, those are just dumb penalties that drive a head coach crazy late in the game because, you know, they want the shutout. A shutout mentally does wonders for your confidence, for your whole football team, especially their defense. who was struggling early in the year. A shutout would do wonders for them right now. That's what Coach Pelini wants.
Pressure coming again. And the pass incomplete. Boy, Nebraska is giving this true freshman a lot to look at and a lot to think about from this week to next week.
Yeah, it made him throw off his back foot there. He had a man open down the field, but Etling just feeling the pressure. That was all a physical error right there. Just threw off his back foot instead of stepping into his throw. It gets down to the little things, Kevin, when you're playing any position. But it's little things that get back your fundamentals and technique will get you by, will get you through.
Third time today that Purdue has crossed midfield. 2nd and 10 at the 49, and the pass is tall, and it's now 3rd down as we check in with Jay Lehman. Jay, you've been watching Danny Etling. Your thoughts on the quarterback so far?
I've been very impressed by his body language. A lot of ups and downs this game. When he gets sacked, he hops right back up. Incompletion. He doesn't hang his head. He's not hanging his head on the sideline. He's encouraging others. Chuck, as a young quarterback, how hard is it not to wear your emotions on your sleeve and stay level-headed and even-keeled for your team?
It's very difficult, especially when you're struggling in a football game, haven't scored any points. But like, as you mentioned, Jay, very impressed with his body language, doing a good job of staying positive, and that's what he needs to do. Don't shrug your shoulders. Don't get your head down.
Flag is down. Pressure comes, and Gregory's got him. If it stands, it's the 3rd sack today for Randy Gregory.
He's just manhandling the offensive line right now.
Offside, defense number 5. 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
That's Josh Mitchell, who lined up offsides at his corner spot.
That happens sometimes, Kevin, when you play man press coverage, meaning nose to nose on the receiver. You lose track of the line of scrimmage. You have to check with the referee or the side judge next to you. Hey, am I okay? And they'll tell you. They'll correct you.
3rd down and 5 at the 44.
Goes blitz.
Etling with pressure coming again. Lobs it downfield. A good play by Mohamed Cisse to swat that ball away before it could get to the intended receiver, and now 4th down.
Great play, but that was another 50-50 throw for Etling. Again, just a young mistake. Don't throw it up for grabs like that. And Nebraska's bringing heat. They're bringing pressure on them.
Helmet off.
They want this shutout, Kevin. They're not laying back in coverage at all.
And Purdue with 8:15 to go is going to go for it. 4th down and 5 at the Nebraska 44-yard line.
Nice defensive play, getting up high, swatting that ball down.
4th and 5. 5 receivers. Pressure coming. Pass batted, and it is intercepted. Josh Banderas picks it off. Now they're going to say incomplete. Jason Ankra deflected the pass. Banderas went up, looked like he had the interception, and then had it slip out as he hit the turf.
Nebraska brought one more defender on the edge that Purdue can block. Well, they had a chance right there for those linemen or linebackers. Don't get a lot of interceptions.
May have been Malik Collins, his teammate, that knocked it out. Tommy Armstrong Jr. back in at quarterback. 8:10 to go, 4th quarter. Huskers take over at their 44-yard line. Newby with the carry. And Terrell Newby struggles for 3. Evan Panfill makes another tackle, and we've called his name several times. The true freshman who had his red shirt pulled today has had some nice moments for Purdue.
Well, they stayed true to form, to their plan. They want to get a lot of freshmen some playing time, including a couple of trues. And what do they tell him, Kevin? Hey, you were a senior last year. Just remember that year.
Newby again. And Newby trying to push the pile past midfield. The whistles blow the play dead at midfield. Garcia leading the way on the tackle for Purdue.
But senior year in high school and freshman year in college are two different things.
One play as his helmet came off during play.
Helmet off for Williams of Purdue. He will leave for a play. 3rd down and 4 at midfield for Nebraska. receivers with Westerkamp and Bell at the top of the formation.
They're showing corner blitz down here.
Armstrong throws, juggled and intercepted. Off the hands of Enunwa, Austin Logan with the pick, the third Armstrong interception thrown today.
Just getting sloppy right now on both sides of the football offensively. And Armstrong just threw it behind him, high and behind. Those are hard catches to make. He's got to make it easier to throw. Had a nice receiver in an open space. But hey, you got to. Purdue's defense still playing.
Well, Nebraska had been doing a pretty good job this year in the turnover category, but today has been a little bit of a problem. Last year they really struggled. They had a +5 margin this year, which was best in the Big Ten coming in, but they're at -1 in turnover margin today. On first down, Akeem Hunt to the sideline, and Hunt chased out of bounds by Harvey Jackson. Boy, when Akeem Hunt can get into space, he is dangerous.
Good backs make the first player miss every single time. Both Abdullah and Hunt can make the first one miss. That was a nice play by Hunt, extending the play.
Pretty impressive run for Nebraska defensively from a touchdown pass allowed. 92 passes and counting since Nebraska allowed a touchdown pass.
That's impressive.
Third quarter of the UCLA game was the last touchdown pass, but what a quarter that was for Nebraska's defense, and not in a good way. Etling under some pressure again. Banderas closing in, and Banderas has the sack. And you mentioned throw it away. That's what Etling will learn as he plays longer, isn't it?
When you get out of the pocket, there's no reason to take a sack. Just because you can throw the ball across the line of scrimmage, you don't have to have a receiver in the vicinity when you're out of the pocket. So that, again, to answer your question, Kevin, yes, he'll learn that as he goes. But those are the first things you learn about. Hey, don't worry about completing that pass or this pass. You learn not to beat yourself before you learn to beat the other team as a quarterback.
Yep, learn where the classes are. Learn not to take that sack.
That's exactly right.
Learn where the best food is on campus. 2nd and 17. Etling throwing to no one. We've seen that with both quarterbacks today. Confusion between quarterback and wide receiver.
A little confusion, but at least he threw it way over the head of the safeties of Nebraska. Good throwaway there, but there is some confusion on both sides. More confusion I've seen in a while.
Well, Nebraska gets a bye after this one. Huskers then will go on the road to Minnesota, and they're hoping that maybe Taylor Martinez is back by that trip to Minnesota.
They're going to need Taylor before the year is out.
3rd down and 17. Etling. And the pass incomplete. Intended for Shane Mikeski. Josh Mitchell closing on that coverage, and it's 4th down.
It's been a while since Etling had really had good timing or good rhythm and timing on a pass. That he had good rhythm and timing there, threw a pretty good ball. Just a nice pass breakup by Nebraska. It's been a while since he's been able to set his feet. He finally set his feet on a throw.
To your point, 7 straight incompletions for Danny Etling as they go for it on 4th and 17 at the Nebraska 47.
Yeah, why not? Here comes the blitz.
Etling with time. The blitz picked up to the sideline and a little bit too close to the sideline for Mikeski, and Purdue turns it over on downs. Be sure you stick around. Dave, Jerry, Howard, Coach Mason will be along from the State Farm postgame show. Straight ahead, they'll have scores, highlights, and analysis of today's games. Josh Banderas getting some lessons on the sidelines and a big lead. Kevin Kugler alongside Chuck Long with Jay Lehman on the sidelines. A 37-0 lead for Nebraska. That's not stopping the folks here in West Lafayette from having some fun. Of course, a lot of them are wearing scarlet and cream. A lot of red-clad fans made the trip. Is this West Lafayette or East Lincoln?
Very loyal fan base in Nebraska.
From the 47-yard line, 1st down. Newby with a block. Newby down the sidelines, and Terrell Newby all the way down to the Purdue 30-yard line. Impressive run for another true freshman.
Just your power sweep. Nebraska staple. Linemen love it. Old toss sweep. Good blocks. Get to the sideline. Get your head down. Get the extra yardage.
Well, Tim Beck said it's so impressive that they run it because so few teams run the old toss sweep anymore.
Hardly ever. I haven't seen one yet. Tell Nebraska.
Here's Newby again. And Newby drilled at the 24-yard line. Huge hit laid on Terrell Newby by Ruben Ibarra.
Jay Lehman had to like this hit right here. That's getting your pads lower than the back's pads. It's all leverage in football.
It's called being physical. It's called putting your hat on somebody and laying the wood. You just get fired up when you see that stuff, Chuck. I know you like touchdown passes. I like hits.
I like hits too, Jay. I've grown to like them, Jay. I've grown to like them.
That's why they're not on the quarterback.
Yeah, I'm not playing anymore, so I like them now.
Nice keep by Ron Kellogg III, and Kellogg with a first down. As we look back, we talked about at the top of the broadcast the impact players for Nebraska today, and what kind of an impact have they had? Well, Amir Abdullah's had a huge impact.
Yes, and he's turned out to be their go-to guy, especially the last two games. Look for that to continue the rest of the year. Kenny Bell's always going to come up with a catch and a great catch, and they're not going to stay away from him too long.
Russell's had a kind of a quiet day, but Gaston has had a big day in the middle for Purdue. From the 19 on first down. Newby again, and Newby just slips down after a 1-yard pickup. Garcia covers him up for the stop. Newby with 61 yards on 10 carries today.
You whittle this Nebraska offense down. It's a rush offense. I mean, they gain a lot of yards in the rushing game, and that's what they want to do. They're just throwing off of the run game. They have excellent balance in their system, in their offense. That's why they're hard to stop. But they want to run the ball, and they're doing a nice job of that. Have done a nice job of that all year.
2nd and 9 at the 18. Play action. Short toss, Trey Foster. And Foster with his first catch of the year, and he's got a first down at the Purdue 9-yard line.
And there's your play action, Kevin, off the running game. If you can do so much off in the passing game off of your running game.
Huskers content to let that clock run a little bit.
And getting back to the running game, Kevin, they run it so many different ways and so many different looks. It's just hard to get a beat on this offense when you're a defensive coordinator. Trying to study it.
King Frazier in the game now at I-back. Frazier the carry. And Frazier down a loss on the play of about a half yard. Well, here's today's John Deere Gator game-changing performance, and it's Imani Cross. 5th career game with 2 rushing touchdowns, 16 carries for 56 yards.
Great change of pace off of Abdullah. Because he's so big and strong, and he's right down near the goal line, as you saw today. Powerful back. Not a shifty back, but very powerful north and south back. Defensively, when you start to wear down, you get Cross into the game. It's tough to stop.
2nd and goal for Nebraska. Frazier with a couple of blockers in front. King Frazier down to the 3-yard line. There's some Henry on the stop.
There's some popping going on down there, Kevin. Late in the game here, both teams are hitting. I can hear it all the way up here.
And on the end of that tackle, mentioned Rob Henry getting the chance to play a little on defense today. First time he's been on the defensive side of the football. And Rob Henry, the team captain, moved from quarterback to defense, and coaches weren't sure he'd see a little time on defense, but there he is out there.
Another example of buying into Darrell Hazel's program. There he is. Hey, what can I do, coach, to help this team? That's always a good sign instead of, I don't want to play anymore.
Here's Frazier, and he'll walk in for the touchdown to put the cherry on top for Nebraska.
There's another finished drive that offensive coordinator Tim Bent wanted. That was a goal today. Last two have been good finishes. Everybody getting into the act. It's fun. Football's fun. Only when you're winning, though, Kevin.
That's right. Pat Smith with the extra point try. 50 seconds to play. And Nebraska has been in control throughout. And the extra point is good. 44-0. Nebraska about to move to 5-1 with a resounding victory on the road at Purdue. $44-0. Nebraska over Purdue with 50 seconds to play in this fourth quarter after the King-Frazier touchdown run. Huskers will kick it off one last time. Husker fans who made the trip very happy that they did. They've seen a solid, if not at times spectacular performance from their team, but enough to get the job done.
A little sloppy at times on offense, but they have to be pleased with their defense. Anytime you pitch a shutout, I don't care who you're playing, that's huge.
It's Justin Sins, the tight end, tripped up for a minute. He had a little bit of room on that sidelines and is tripped up at the 44-yard line. Now, as Purdue comes back out on offense, we talked about impact players in the matchup of Purdue offense versus Nebraska defense. How have those impact players fared today? And you knew it'd be up and down for Etling.
Yeah, Etling, came back to earth a little bit after a big game last game, but just growing pains there. He'll get through that. He's got a great future. Hunt, they need to keep using him in their system, both out of the backfield as a rusher and as a pass receiver. Of course, Gregory was dominant.
Etling on first down. Etling looking deep. He's got Yancey. Yancey's got it, and a touchdown.
No shutout. I spoke too soon. Great throw and catch it. Gotta love Yancey. What a combination this is going to be in the future.
Nebraska fans even giving a round of applause to the two true freshmen, Etling and Yancey, who hook up for the first time, and probably will be more to follow for those two.
Simple post route right over the top, and that was a hard catch to make. It was like a Willie Mays catch.
First passing touchdown allowed in the last 96 attempts, and scratch all that talk of a shutout.
No shutout.
Etling comes up with the 55-yard touchdown pass to D'Angelo Yancey, and the extra point is good. Well, something to build on as they move forward, Chuck Long. A long touchdown strike from Danny Etling to D'Angelo Yancey.
And you have a nice combination there between Etling and Yancey moving forward. They needed to keep developing that combination in their passing game. Just a simple post route right over the top. Put it in a good spot. That's a great catch. That's a hard catch to make now. Well, looking over their both shoulders like that.
Well, Yancey, his first career touchdown. True freshman from Atlanta, Georgia. D'Angelo Yancey into the end zone.
Good size receiver, 6'2", 200 pounds. It'd be hard to man-to-man press him. Be hard for smaller corners to do that.
They're first of the half.
And Nebraska will take a timeout as Purdue had lined up in an onside kick formation.
Yeah, why not? You got to work all facets of your game. You hardly ever get a chance to work onside kicks. I like what Darrell Hazel's trying to do for his football team. He teaches them, hey, you guys keep fighting, but we'll keep fighting as a coaching staff too.
Well, Nebraska, as we mentioned, with a bye next week, and some guys who are banged up today are probably going to appreciate having a week to relax a little bit before the meat of the Nebraska schedule. They hit the road to take on Minnesota, and then look at that November. It'll certainly be a November to remember with Northwestern, Michigan on the road, Michigan State, Penn State, and Iowa. Look at that ball on the tee for the onside attempt. Takes the bounce, and Banderas covers it up for the Huskers. And Nebraska can just run this one out and get out of West Lafayette with a 44-7 advantage. Don't forget, our State Farm postgame is straight ahead. Dave, Jerry, Howard, Coach Mason are along with scores, highlights, and analysis of all of today's action.
That's a great effort defensively. I know Bo Pelini has to be happy. Last 2 weeks of his defense, they've really come on. They were flying around today. Played fast, made good tackles in the open field. They're coming on. That's a young group.
Kellogg will take the knee, and that is all she wrote for this one. Neither team will have to do anything else as the handshakes and congratulations all around. Amir Abdullah over 100 yards today. Nebraska 14-4 in conference games since joining the Big Ten. And for the Huskers under Bo Pelini, now 14-1 against unranked opponents on the road. Only Alabama since 2008 has a better record on the road against unranked foes. And Nebraska with a 44-7 victory over the Purdue Boilermakers. That's going to do it from West Lafayette, Indiana. Our final score: Nebraska now 5-1 on the season with a 44-7 victory over Purdue. For Chuck Long and Jay Lehman, I'm Kevin Kugler. Let's send you to Dave, Jerry, and Howard, along with Coach Mason, in our Chicago studio for the State Farm postgame report. So long from West Lafayette, Indiana, where Nebraska wins 44-7.